Good afternoon, friends. I am Dr. Ajay Shah, bringing you this extremely important seminar on weight loss. If you are in need of losing 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 50 pounds, even 100 pounds, you are in a treat to listen to this seminar. This seminar is an extensive information, everything, almost everything you need to know about the weight loss. Over last 40 years, with all my experience as a cardiologist and now as a lifestyle physician, and now also a person who has lost 50 pounds and have maintained a 50-pound weight loss, this seminar is combination of my knowledge, my readings, my watching thousands of YouTube videos, listening to a lot of audiobooks, my own personal journey and personal experience, and also whatever I've learned from my patients and my family and friends who also have struggled to lose weight and also are successfully managing the weight loss. So let me tell you one thing, weight loss is not that easy. At the same time, weight loss techniques are simple and a person can lose weight if they follow what program I'm going to recommend today. So you are in the treat, you are in this seminar if you are in need of a weight loss. So let's start. Um, Once you start losing weight, once you get to your ideal body weight, once you become lean, you will reverse many of the chronic disease. And those chronic diseases include diabetes. So if you lose weight, you will reverse your type 2 diabetes completely. You will go off insulin. You will go off many of the expensive diabetic medications. If you lose weight and get to the lean body mass, you will actually reverse your blood pressure. You will reverse your reflux disease, gastrointestinal reflux disease. You will reverse your sleep apnea. You will reverse your fatty liver. So there are many, many benefits of weight loss. And I'm going to show you today how you can lose 10, 20, 50, even 100 pounds. Obviously, as you lose weight, as you become lean, you will look great, you will look younger, you will actually feel great. So those are some of the side benefits. The main benefits obviously are going to be in reversing and preventing many chronic disease. So let's see how common the obesity is. Obesity is actually almost like an epidemic, not only in America, but throughout the world and even in India. In America, obesity is about 43%. So 43% of Americans are obese. That's a very, very alarming number, very alarming number. If you look at India, obesity is almost 15 to 20, 25%, which used to be less than 5% just 30 years ago. So the whole world is getting obese. If you look at some of the segments of population in America, obesity is even worse. African American women, if you look at it, African American women, the obesity is almost 55 to 60%. If you look at the Medicare population, which is above age 65, and African American women, obesity is almost 65 to 70%. And I see that every day in my practice. A lot of the African American women have obesity. Even in general, African American people have a lot of obesity. Hispanics have a lot of obesity. The lowest rate of obesity is in white women. And we need to do everything in our power to help all the segments of society to see if we can reverse this trend of obesity. The trend actually is very alarming. Predictions are that by 2030, just 9 years from now, 50% of Americans will be obese. Based on my own observation, let me tell you what I predict. What I predict is that by 2025, just 4 years from now, obesity will be 50%. And that's very, very alarming. If you are one of the person who is overweight or obese, who needs to lose 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 pounds, please stay tuned. I'm going to show you today everything, how you can lose weight in an effective way. That means it will work. In a simple way, that means you don't have to put that many efforts. In a cost effective way, that means it's not going to cost you anything. You don't have to sign up for any program. This is completely at no cost service to you. in an evidence-based way. Everything I'm going to tell you is scientifically proven, and I'm not going to tell you anything which is based on just fad diets or something what people have tried only in a small population. I'm going to tell you something which has been tried for 50, 100 years and which has been going on for thousands of years in terms of staying lean. We will talk about blue zones where people are lean, people live long up to 100, and people are healthy. So we will be covering lot of different aspects of losing weight. Let me tell you one thing. Losing weight means losing fat, because when a person loses muscle they can lose weight also, but that's not the healthy way of losing weight. So when I talk about weight loss, I synonymously say fat loss, and fat loss is probably the most important thing one can do. When we talk about fat loss, we are also talking about visceral fat loss. Visceral fat, which is typically the fat around our belly, which is typically the fat around our organs, is one of the most dangerous fat one can have. That visceral fat actually behaves like a endocrine organ. That means it can secrete, it can release a lot of the chemicals which are very, very harmful to our body. It can release a lot of the inflammatory signals. That means people who have a lot of visceral fat, they will have a inflammation in the body. And now we know inflammation is the root cause for many, many chronic disease, including heart disease, Alzheimer disease, dementia, stroke, even high blood pressure, even many cancers, even many, many chronic disease. So we need to lower the visceral fat. When we talk about fat loss, when we talk about weight loss, we are talking about lowering or losing visceral fat and a belly fat. Subcutaneous fat, which is the fat under the skin, also will come down, but the main goal is to lose visceral fat and belly fat and fat around our organ. We also need to lose fat from the liver. I'm sure many of you have heard term fatty liver. Fatty liver disease is on the rise. 50 years ago, there was a rare patient with fatty liver. People who drank a lot of alcohol, they had fatty liver. But now, because of obesity, fatty liver is very, very common. People with obesity deposit fat in their liver, and eventually that fatty liver turns into cirrhosis. The number one reason now for liver transplantation is fatty liver. So we need to lower the fat also in the liver as well as in the visceral fat. So let's see what we can do. Again, when we talk about obesity, obesity is itself a disease. It can lead to many complications. Obesity can lead to heart disease, that means heart blockage, that means heart attack. Obesity can lead to condition called atrial fibrillation. Obesity can lead to heart failure. So obesity can cause many, many heart disease. Obesity also can cause stroke, which means the brain function goes down. Obesity can cause high blood pressure. Obesity can cause prediabetes and diabetes. Obesity can cause joint pains and joint need for joint replacement. Obesity can cause sleep apnea. Like I said earlier, obesity can cause fatty liver disease and cirrhosis. Obesity can cause GI reflux disease, where people have a reflux from the stomach. Obesity can cause infertility. Obesity can cause polycystic ovarian disease. Obesity can cause lowering of testosterone level. So obesity has a many, many, many complications. The reason I'm setting the stage because when a person is overweight or obese, it's just not a cosmetic thing. It just doesn't mean that you look out of shape or you look out of condition. Obesity actually is a really a disease which leads to many complications. So when I say lose weight, it's just not to fit in a better or leaner clothes. It's actually to reverse many chronic disease and prevent many complications. And that's the reason losing weight and getting down to lean body mass is actually almost an urgency or an emergency. And today I'm going to show you how you can do it. So please stay tuned. Ask questions as we go through this thing. I will answer every question. Please comment as we go. So that way I know it's interactive. We already have a lot of people viewing it. So let's share on your page so more people can view it. Right now, go ahead and please click on the share button and share on your page so a lot of people can join. And let's make it most interactive. Uh, when we talk about losing weight, first thing I want you to do is listen to the whole seminar. Once you listen to the whole seminar, I want you to set a date, and that date can be tomorrow. That date can be latest by next week. But set a date that you're going to be very, very serious about losing weight. Give me 6 weeks of commitment. Give me only 6 weeks of commitment, and I will assure you that in 6 weeks you will lose minimum 10 pounds, if not more. So give me 6 weeks of commitment starting tomorrow or starting once you set a date to lose weight. Uh, Again, listen to the whole seminar if you really want to lose weight over the next 6 weeks. And I will give you what you should be eating, how much exercise you will need to do, what else you will need to do to lose weight. Um, first thing, first thing, most important thing in terms of losing weight is having a mindset, that confidence that you will be able to lose weight, having a strength of a mind, having a stable mind is going to be the most important thing I can ask you to do. And I will show you how you can have a mindset of losing weight, and we will work together on that also. Next thing I want you to do is not rely on your willpower. A lot of people said that I don't have a strong willpower. I cannot resist certain type of food. I cannot resist a cookie or a beer or an alcohol or a cake or a burger. I cannot resist that. I don't have a strong willpower. Let me tell you, I have a solution for that also. And that solution is creating an environment. And there are many books written on willpower, but let me tell you, and I've read many of them, let me tell you the summary of all those books. Willpower does not work for most people. Most of us, including myself, our willpower gets fatigued when we make multiple decisions per day. And that's also called decision fatigue. All of us, every human, all around the world makes at least 500 to 1,000 decisions per day, including what to eat, what to wear, how much to sleep, how to talk. We make tons of decisions every day. And every time we make a decision, our brain gets fatigued, and eventually we are not able to make a right decision when it comes down to an important thing. So we need to not rely on willpower. So, how can we do that? To not rely on willpower, we need to create an environment. And this is the most important concept I want you to listen to. Create an environment. Creating an environment will automatically remove your willpower, your desire, your mindset, your mental tiredness, or whatever things is going in your mind, including what your emotions are, will eliminate reliance on all those things and will rely on your environment. My wife is going to talk about environment when we do this live next month, but let me tell you what environment means. Environment means creating a area or creating circumstances or creating a situation where you will make only the right decisions regardless of how your mind is feeling, how your emotions are going. And first thing you can do to create an environment is to set up your house. That means setting up your kitchen, setting up your pantry, setting up your refrigerator. Let's talk about setting up your pantry. As soon as you finish this live, today is Sunday, you will have an hour or two in the evening. And if you are serious about losing weight, go to your pantry or go to your cupboards if you don't have a pantry and start cleaning out your pantry or cleaning out your cupboards. That means all processed food need to go. We will talk more about processed food as we go in the seminar, but all processed food needs to go. That That means all the food which are in bags or in boxes or which has labels that needs to go. That means all the cookies, all the crackers, all the chips, all the breakfast cereals, everything, all the white wheat pasta, all the white rice, everything which has a label needs to go. I want you to pack your cupboards and your pantry with all whole natural food. That means beans, lentils, all different type of beans and lentils, brown rice, black rice, lentil pasta, many kind of spices, flax seeds, different kind of nuts and other seeds. So fill up your pantry and refrigerator with all the whole food plant-based diet. Also eliminate all the oil from your pantry and from your cupboards. And let me tell you one thing, many Indian people, even in America, people have habit of having lots of oil in the house. If you want to lose weight, you need to get rid of the oil completely. At our house, we don't use oil at all anymore. And we will talk about oil and its own issues, including how many calories it packs as we go in this seminar. But as you clean out your pantry, throw away all the oil. When we talk about oil, let me tell you, we are not just talking about vegetable oils like sunflower oil, canola oil, or many other vegetable oil. We are also talking about seeds oil, including olive oil, including even avocado oil. Many people think that olive oil is healthy. Many people think that avocado oil is healthy. Many people think that even canola oil is healthy. Let me tell you, no oil is healthy. No oil is healthy. That may be a surprise to many people. That may be a shock to many people. That may be a concern to a lot of people. Let me tell you, based on all the research I've done, based on my own personal experience, oil is not healthy. Oil is one of the most calorie dense food, which we'll talk about it, and oil needs to go if you need to lose weight. Oil needs to go. So clean out your pantry, clean out your refrigerator. That means eliminating all ice cream, all pizzas, all dairy even. I will talk about dairy as we go in this seminar. And fill up your refrigerator with lots of green vegetables, lots of fruits, lots of soy milk and other plant-based milk. Also eliminate all the sugary fruit yogurts also. Only have plant-based, low-calorie, low-fat yogurts. We'll talk about all those things as we go in this seminar. So again, clean out your pantry, clean out your refrigerator, clean out your cupboards. Also set up your kitchen tops and kitchen counter with lot of fruits, lot of the whole food plant-based items. So when you enter your house in the evening after a long day at work, you will automatically reach out to those healthy food. When we come home after a long day at work, and even if you're working from home, evening gets very, very tiring after a long day at work, either at home or at work after a commute, and we automatically reach out for comfort food. If you have only access to the whole food, plant-based food in the house, then you will automatically eat only those food. You will not go out, drive again just to get unhealthy food. So create an environment. I want you to create an environment in your house, in your kitchen, in your pantry, in your refrigerator, which will be only allowing you to eat healthy food. That means you will only lose weight 1 to 3 pounds per week. So creating an environment. I have a separate video on how to create an environment, how to clean out your pantry. It's already on YouTube. It's about 30 minutes long with a lot of pictures, a lot of videos, a lot of examples. That video was done about 8 months ago. Please watch that video later on after this seminar is completed, and you will know what is in our pantry at our house. Uh, uh, so again, cleaning out environment is very, very important. The next concept I want you to understand, and that concept is probably as important as creating environment, is learning about caloric density. Caloric density. Caloric density concept is second most important concept in terms of losing weight. So let me explain you caloric density. Caloric density means knowing how many calories are there per pound in each food item. How many calories are there per pound in each food item? Let me give you some examples. When you look at the green vegetables, either raw or water cooked, raw or water cooked, it has anywhere from 60 to 100, 150 calories per pound. Raw obviously has less calories per pound. Some of the raw green vegetables has only 60 calories per pound. So that's the lowest calorie per pound are the green vegetables. When you look at the fruits, fruits have about 300 calories per pound, 300 calories per pound. When you look at the grains, intact grains, which we'll talk about what are the different type of grains as we go in this seminar, but intact grains have about 500 to 700 calories per pound. When you look at the beans, legumes, and lentils, a cooked one obviously has about 500 to 700 calories per pound. When you look at the bread, the white bread, wheat bread, or sprouted bread, all those breads have about 900 to 1100 calories per pound. And these are the plant-based foods. When you look at some of the processed food, for example, popcorns, which are considered a snack to lose weight, popcorn actually packs about 1700 calories per pound, even without any butter or any oil. Obviously, if you have buttery popcorn or oily popcorn, it will have anywhere from 2500 to 3000 calories per pound. If you look at some of the meat, some of the red meat or chicken or fish, it packs about 2000 to 2500 calories per pound. If you look at the nuts and seeds, even though they are plant-based, because they have high content of fat, they pack about 2700 to 3000 calories per pound. And let me ask you, as you are watching, guess which one is the most calorie dense food? I will give you 5 seconds to think it through. Which one is the most calorie dense food? Most calorie dense food on this earth is oil. Doesn't matter, all oil have 4000 calories per pound. Doesn't matter whether it's a quote unquote healthy oil like olive oil or avocado oil, but all the oil carry 4000 calories per pound. So I've given you some example. Some of the processed food, including crackers, including cookies, including cake, including chips, including cereals, breakfast cereals. Many of them have anywhere from 1500 to 2500, 3000 calories per pound. Starchy vegetables, I forgot to mention, starchy vegetables like potatoes, sweet potatoes, other type of potatoes are about 500 to 600 calories per pound. Why do I keep telling you how many calories per pound? Why knowledge of knowing how many calories per pound is important? The reason it's important because we eat about 3 to 5 pounds of food every day. Our stomach has a capacity of eating about pound to pound and a half every meal. That means we eat 3 meals, so we eat about 3 to 5 pounds of food every day. Imagine if we eat calorie dense food which has a 1500 calorie per pound, and if a person is eating 3 or 4 pounds of food, they will be eating 4 to 6000 calories per day and will never lose weight. We always are going to eat 3 to 5 pounds of food per day. Nature has designed us that way. We cannot go hungry. Let me tell you, hunger is one of the strongest stimulus a person or any animal has. We can go hungry 4 hours, 6 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, but eventually hunger takes over and we will eat the food. So we need to satisfy our hunger. And to satisfy our hunger, we need to eat anywhere from 3 to 5 pounds of food per day. So imagine if you eat 1000, 1500, 2000 calories per pound, you'll be eating 4 to 6000 calories per day and you will never lose weight. So we need to lower calories per pound we eat with each meal. So imagine if you eat 1 pound of green vegetable that will give you under only 100 calories and that will fill up your stomach. If you eat 3 pounds of green vegetables, which will give you satiety, which will eliminate all the hunger, you'll be eating only 300 calories per pound. Obviously, that's not sustainable. I'm just giving you an extreme example. I want obviously to eat a rainbow diet where all different variety of plant-based food is included. The reason I say plant-based food because just by nature, just by design of the nature, plant-based food is low calorie dense food. So what are the reasons for food having low calorie density? A food which has a high water content because water does not have any calorie. A food which has a high water content and a food which has a high fiber content because fiber traditionally does not give you any calorie. So food with a high water content and high fiber content will be low calorie per pound. And plant-based food, particularly green vegetables, have tons of water, tons of fiber, and that will be low calorie dense food. All plant-based food, which is whole food plant-based, have typically high water and high fiber and typically low calorie per pound. When you have a plant-based food which is processed, where water is removed and fiber is removed, it becomes high calorie dense. For example, chips or breakfast cereals, even Oreos, which is plant-based food, but it's a processed plant-based food, has a very high calorie, as much as 2 to 3,000 calorie per pound. So I want you to have whole food, plant-based, no oil food, and automatically you will have low calorie per pound. When we talk about calorie per pound, the average, the magic number which has been given is 560 calorie per pound. So if your plate, when you eat your breakfast, lunch, or dinner, if your plate has an average of 560 calorie per pound, you will start losing weight automatically. That means you have to fill up your plate with lots of green vegetables, tons of green vegetables, which will be only 100 calorie per pound, small amount of beans, lentils, and legumes, a small amount of starchy vegetable like potatoes or sweet potatoes, a small amount of fruits, and big one or two large glasses of water. That will give you 1 to 1.5 pound of food. That will give you satiety, and average calorie per meal will be about 500 calorie. And that way you will be eating about 12 to 1500 calories per day. Our basal metabolic rate is anywhere from 1200 to 1800 calories per day. And if you are physically active, you'll be burning about 2000 to 3000 calories per day. And if you're eating 1200 to 1500 calories per day, you'll be having deficit of anywhere from 1000 to 1500 calories per day, and you'll be losing 1 to 3 pounds per week. So again, this is the concept of caloric density. I have a separate video on YouTube on caloric density. It's only 4 minutes long. So please watch that video again and again. I hope you understood the concept of caloric density. The reason I say caloric density is very important because it will teach you how to eat average 560 calories per pound. When you eat a lot of processed food, when you eat a lot of oily food, when you eat a lot of animal products, you automatically eat a lot of calories per pound and you will never lose weight. You will never lose weight. There was a question on the live feed that a person has bought a new scale which gives you BMI, visceral fat, etc. Typically, those scales slightly give you lower number of body fat than truly it is. So I think it's a good scale to have watched as a trend. But in general, I will watch other non-scale victories. But to answer your colleague's question, that those scales are fairly accurate to follow as a trend. So as you lose weight, you will actually see that you are losing body fat, you are losing visceral fat as a trend. As a fixed number, they may or may not be very accurate, but as a trend, they will be very accurate. So back to our live. So caloric density concept is very important. Chef AJ has a 1 hour video, Ultimate Secrets to Weight Loss, on forks over knives. If you have not watched that video, when you have a time, please watch that video. It's 1 hour long. I have summarized that video in my caloric density as I described just a few minutes ago. So you don't have to watch it if you don't have time, but it's worth watching it. There's another video by two physical therapists, Brad and Ben. So if you look at a Brad and Ben physical therapy caloric density video, you will find that. That video is about 25 minutes long, and that video is actually better because in that video, the nutritionist actually shows you physical pictures of or physical things of different kind of food, including green vegetables and nuts and seeds and cookies and candies and M&Ms. So both videos are good. But if you watch my 4 minute long video, you will get adequate information about caloric density. Uh, Another next important thing when it comes down to weight loss is knowing why you want to lose weight. That's probably as important as creating environment and knowing caloric density. And that's purpose of weight loss. We all have different purpose to lose weight. My purpose 4 years ago to lose weight was lowering my A1C, which is the measure of diabetes, and reversing my pre-diabetes. My main purpose was not to ever become diabetic. For a person, for you, purpose could be fitting into your wedding dress. For you, the purpose could be seeing your 50th or 75th wedding anniversary. Your purpose could be reversing diabetes. Your purpose could be getting off blood pressure medicine. Your purpose could be, reversing heart disease. Your purpose could be anything. So make sure you have a purpose why you are losing weight. People who have purpose are actually more successful than people who just does randomly. So write down your purpose on your phone or in a notebook today, tomorrow, when you set a date, why you want to lose weight. You may have more than one purpose. That's okay. But definitely have one purpose why you want to lose weight. So have a purpose why you want to lose weight. Next thing I ask you to do is as soon as you set a date, get a good scale, get a good accurate scale. If it has a body fat percent or visceral fat percent, it's a bonus, but you don't need to have that. But definitely have a good scale which can give you weight in pounds or in kilograms. Put the scale in your bathroom on a hard surface, not on a carpet, and start weighing yourself every morning when you wake up, after you pass the urine, and after you have a bowel movement. So weigh yourself every morning and write down that weight either on your phone or in a notebook and leave that notebook in the bathroom. Some people say that weighing yourself every day is not necessary and maybe detrimental. I personally believe, based on science, based on Dr. Michael Greger's book, How Not to Diet, I personally believe weighing yourself every day is the right thing to do. When you weigh yourself every morning, it sets a tone that you are into serious business of losing weight, and you actually will be reminded first thing in the morning that today is the day where you are planning to lose weight. So it's a good start at 6:30, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning when you get up to get a reminder that today I am working on losing weight. So weigh yourself every morning when you wake up and write that weight down and watch it every morning as you go week, 2, 3 weeks, look at it, reflect on it, see how your weight is going. If you follow what I'm going to show you today, let me tell you one thing. You'll be surprised. You'll be losing 1 to 3 pounds per week. 1 to 3 pounds per week. And you will be losing 50 to 150 pounds over 1 year. And that weight will be all fat loss, very minimum muscle loss. We'll talk about that, how you can do that. You will reverse many chronic disease, you will reverse diabetes, you reverse high blood pressure. When it comes down to weight loss, a lot of people have asked me that do I need to exercise to lose weight? Exercise will complement, but is not necessary. So if you have bad knee or a bad hip, or if you are not able to exercise, that's okay. You still will lose weight. Your pace will be slightly slower, but you still will lose weight 1 to 3 pounds per week. Exercise has many non-weight loss benefits. Exercise improves your mood, so you become more confident person. Exercise improves your emotions, so you don't have emotional eating. Exercise improves your sleep, and we will talk about sleep and appetite and sleep and weight loss as we go. Exercise improves your willpower. Exercise make you feel better. So definitely exercise builds you muscle. So when you do weight training, and when you build the muscle, you burn the calories every hour. So exercise definitely has a lot of benefits, but that's not must, or that's not mandatory to lose weight. Losing weight mostly is going to depend upon what you eat, and I'm going to show you how you eat healthy way and lose weight. So don't worry if you cannot exercise, but if you are able to exercise, I will show you as we go in the seminar what kind of exercise you should be doing every day. Uh, as you start this journey, I want to make sure you actually ask your doctor, either your primary care physician or your GP, that you are going on this weight loss program. Because if you have certain disease, if you are on certain medications, as you lose weight, some of those medications will need to be lower or will need to be stopped. So make sure you stay in touch with your GP or your primary care physician. There might be certain blood work or certain labs needs to be done, including thyroid hormone, including certain diabetic measures, including some of the other hormone level, including estrogen, including testosterone, including cortisol level, to make sure you don't have any hormonal type of obesity. So make sure you ask your doctor what kind of labs you should have it done before you start this journey. So let's start with what we eat in America. Because if we know what we eat, then we know what needs to be fixed. So what we eat in America the term has been coined as SAD, Standard American Diet, SAD, and truly it's a sad diet. Truly it's an unfortunate diet, sad diet. So what is sad diet consist of? Said diet consists of 65% of processed food. 65% of processed food. That means a lot of chips, a lot of cakes, a lot of cookies, a lot of breakfast cereals, a lot of the food which is made in factories which has a label on it. So 65% processed food, about 25% animal products, and those animal products include red meat, chicken, fish, pork, venison, many other type of animal products, and dairy obviously. And dairy obviously include milk and cheese and yogurt and many other type of dairy. So 25% comes from animal products. One of the animal product, which in my opinion absolutely should be avoided because it can cause cancer, is the processed meat. We will talk about that as we go in this seminar. And about 10% of calorie in American diet comes from plant-based food. And plant-based food, out of 10%, 7 to 8% actually is mostly potatoes and ketchup. Number one vegetable in America we eat is potatoes. And most of those potatoes are actually French fries. French fries, obviously, with salt and oil. Eating potato is not unhealthy at all. And I'll show you as we go how I make my potatoes at my own kitchen, my own house. Eating potato, many people say is unhealthy, but truly it's not unhealthy at all. Actually, potato are actually the most asphyxiating or most satiety, most hunger relieving vegetable you can ever find. And potato in itself does not have that many calories per pound. Like I said earlier, it's about 500 to 700 calories per pound. So potatoes are not bad. It's how you make them. French fries, oil and salt makes the potatoes bad. So again, out of 10% plant-based food, 7 to 8% is ketchup, which is obviously very processed tomato with a lot of sugar, a lot of high fructose corn syrup, and French fries. So only about 2 to 3% of American diet is whole food plant-based diet. Only 2 to 3% of American diet is whole food plant-based diet. That's very, very alarming. That's very, very depressing. And that's the reason obesity has gone up. When I came to America in 1986, I did not see that many obese people. Matter of fact, obesity rate was only about 16 or 18% in 1986. Now it's about 43%. I did not see that many obese people. So the reason obesity has almost doubled, almost tripled over the last 35, 40 years is because processed food consumption has significantly gone up. Everybody is eating processed food. I used to eat processed food. I have stopped doing it, but a lot of people still eat processed food. A lot of people still drink soda, Pepsi, Coke, Mountain Dew, many energy drink. Those are all processed food with a lot of high fructose corn syrup, a lot of salt, a lot of sugar, a lot of oil, no fiber, no water. And that's the reason obesity has gone up. Obesity has gone up. So again, standard American diet needs to change. There are many different type of diet has been proposed right now, and I'm sure many of you have heard about keto diet, paleo diet, Atkins diet, South Beach diet, many other diets. We will go through each diet as we go in this seminar today. But let me tell you one thing. The best diet, in my opinion, based on all the science, based on all the data, based on all the effectiveness, is a whole food, plant-based, no oil diet. And I will explain you what that diet means. We'll talk about keto diet also as we go. So again, that's a standard American diet. So let's talk about what you will need on this journey in your kitchen. I have done a separate video what you should have it in your kitchen. It's already available on YouTube. It's about 15-20 minutes long. So please watch that video. But let me tell you today what you should have in your kitchen. In your kitchen, you should have, obviously, if you can afford, and if you have access to those resources, and if you have access to those things available, if you live in America, you should have an Instapot at home. Instapot is one of the easiest way of pressure cooking in your kitchen. And Instapots are not very expensive. They run anywhere from $45 to $65. We have three different sizes Instapot at our house, and my wife has become one of the most expert on cooking all different type of food in Instapot. She will be coming live to show many recipes. She has done lots of recipes last year, so they're all available on YouTube. She will be coming live starting hopefully next week or two. And she'll be coming live also on this weight loss seminar starting next month to show you how to cook in Instapot. Also consider having air fryer in the house. Ovens are good. Almost every American house has oven. If you live in India, you may not have access to oven, but every American house has oven. And ovens are good, but they are a lot more cumbersome, a lot harder to clean, a lot harder to increase the temperature, and a lot at times harder to make a small item or small dish because they traditionally are very large. So having a small air fryer at house is also very handy. We have a Breville air fryer at our house, which is very handy, very efficient, and I make sometimes potatoes in that. Matter of fact, I posted on our page how to make just air fried potatoes and eat with the sriracha sauce. So definitely you should have air fryer at home. You should also have electric grill at home. If you want to grill any kind of dish, like tofu or any kind of lentil bread, anything you can grill on a small electric grill, which can be very handy and it becomes very easy to clean. Obviously, everybody should have a stove top. Everybody should have access to non-stick pans. Everybody should have access to some cooking utensils. Everybody should have access to some good sharp knives because as we go in this seminar, you realize that cutting vegetables, chopping the salad, all those things are very important. So you should have access to some good knives. You should have also access to salad spinner. As you wash those greens and as you wash those vegetables, you will need to drain the water out, and you can easily do that in a salad spinner. You will obviously cutting out the fruits, so you will need some sharp knives also. Uh, uh, so again, there are many other equipments you can have in your house. Oh yes, you should definitely have access to a Vitamix or any kind of good blender. We have Vitamix for last 25 years, one of the best investment we have ever made. Vitamix is a high energy, high power blender, and you can easily blend almost anything. You can make paste of anything. You can even make powder of a lot of the seeds. You can actually make a lot of smoothies. So definitely a high power blender like Vitamix or many other blenders is very important. You can buy actually a good blender for anywhere from $100 to $300, and let me tell you, it's one of the good investment. You can also have a small coffee size blender to blend some of the spices. It will be easy to clean and much more convenient to just blend small items, including seeds and spices. So again, you should have access to blender, both a full size and a very small size, like a coffee size blender. Uh, so again, watch that video on what you should have in kitchen. My wife will give you more information what you should have in the kitchen when she does the live next time. I told you what so far what I see in my kitchen, and I'm sure many of you have the same thing in your kitchen. Um, there was a question about water fasting. We're going to cover water fasting in detail as we go. We're going to cover about alternate day fasting. We're going to cover about intermittent fasting. So everything is coming as we go in this seminar. And Chris Ames was also on the line. So thanks, Chris, for joining us. I hope everybody's enjoying it. Please share on your page. Please share on your feed so that more people can join and we can all have interactive session. We can have all more questions and more comments. Next thing, what I want you to go in this journey is to have a buddy or a partner. That person can be your spouse, that person can be your family member, that person can be your friend, that person can be your coworker. Whenever you take up any project, not just a weight loss, but any kind of project in the life, including writing a book, including exercising, including studying, any kind of project you take, if you have a buddy or if you have a partner, life becomes very easy. You can bounce back the ideas, you can discuss, you can reflect out loud, you can study together, you can watch videos together, and you can shop together, you can cook together. So definitely having a buddy or a spouse will be very, very important. So definitely have a partner if you can. Obviously, if you are single and if it's hard, you can join a lot of the online groups. We have our own group, weight loss group on my page, Healthy Living with Dr. Ajay Shah. Join that group. We're going to make that group very active. Join many of the group, including Chef AJ group. There are many groups on Facebook for weight loss. Obviously, don't join any unhealthy weight loss group because you will be only following unhealthy advice. I definitely ask you not to join any keto-based weight loss group, and I'll explain you why keto diet is not good for you. So again, I've covered about 45 minutes. Let me grab a sip of water. Please go ahead and comment if you're watching that you are enjoying, the pace is right, and so far you have learned, and so far you feel like this is beneficial to you. So please go ahead and comment so I know that everybody watching is enjoying. Also, please go ahead and share on your page so I know that more and more people can join. Let me also next go and cover what is the ideal body mass index. When we talk about weight in pounds or in kilograms, it's a good way to follow when you're losing pounds or kilograms. But at the same time, because a tall person obviously will weigh more, so we have now a formula called body mass index. Body mass index is a calculation of your weight and height with a formula. And you can actually calculate your body mass index from an online calculator. So I want all of you to calculate your body mass index. Body mass index above 30 is obesity. Body mass index above 30 is obesity. Body mass index about 25 is being overweight. So again, obesity is almost 43% in America right now, and it will be 50% in my opinion by 2025. Overweight, overweight, which is body mass index about 25, is about 80% in America. 80% in America. And in my opinion, ideal body mass index, if you want to live up to 100, if you want to live healthy, if you want to prevent many chronic disease, if you want to reverse many chronic disease, your body mass index should be ideally 22. So I want you to calculate your body mass index. And if you look at the body mass index of 22, almost 90-95% people are above body mass index of 22. People who have healthy body mass index of 22, that means they don't smoke, they don't have cancer, they don't have starvation, they're not depressed, they are not on chemotherapy. Truly, in America, body mass index of 22 in a healthy way is less than 2%. So let me repeat that because that's a very alarming statistic. Body mass index, BMI, of 22 or below in a healthy way is less than 2%. 98% of Americans are having unhealthy body mass index. 98%. And those numbers are not much different in America or India. When we talk about Indians or Pakistanis or Bangladeshi or Sri Lankan or many Southeast Asians, body mass index of 20 to 21 is actually healthy. The reason is many people from India, even at a low body mass index of 22 or 23, will still have body fat, which is very high, and they still will have a high risk for developing diabetes and prediabetes. And we will cover body fat in a minute. So then if you are Indian or if you are Southeast Asian, try to lower your body mass index even 20 to 21. And that applies to both men and women, men and women. So now let's talk about the next important number. And that important number is body fat percent. Body fat percent is how much fat percent you have in your body. Because like I said, many people, even at a low body mass index, can have a high body fat, and some people at a high body mass index can have normal body fat. There are a lot of people who are healthy at BMI of 26 because their body fat is 10 to 15%. Any body fat percent above 25 is obesity. And I've seen many lean, many thin people whose body fat percent is above 25. And even though by BMI they are not obese because their BMI is below 30, but by body fat criteria, they are actually obese. And body fat, in my opinion, is a better predictor of your health than just the BMI. Obviously, BMI easy to calculate because it just requires your weight and your height. Body fat percent requires specific machines and equipments to calculate. You can actually calculate your body fat percent from a scale by based on body impedance, plethysmography, and those scales are fairly accurate in terms of following the trend. You can actually buy a handheld device, which I have it at my house, and you can calculate body fat percent. The best way to calculate body fat percent is by DEXA scan. You can go to a doctor's office, you can go to a radiology department, and they can actually measure your body fat percent by DEXA scan. Those DEXA scan cost anywhere from $200 to $300. Those are not necessarily your scale at home, which can be easily can give you visceral fat and body fat percent. Body fat percent is very important. Remember, body fat percent about 25 is obesity. I was doing a live just 2 days ago, and there was a comment that a person had a body fat percent, person had a BMI of only 22 or 23, but body fat percent was almost 27 to 30. So even though person wasn't obese by BMI, person was obese by body fat percent. Now, so again, I covered the body fat percent. Now let's go to the next topic. There's a lot of organization, lot of the commercial companies who actually recommend following certain kind of way of losing weight. Many of them recommend counting points, counting calories, eating less food, portion control. All those things are recommended to lose weight. Let me give you a big surprise news. Those things don't work. Counting points, counting calories, counting portion size, controlling portion size, those things don't work. Because I said earlier, our body, every animal's body, our body is designed to eat certain quantity of food every day. Otherwise, we will go hungry and nobody can go hungry. For most human, it's 3 to 5 pounds of food. So when you restrict your portion size, when you eat less food, you will go hungry. You may be able to withstand that for a day or two or three, but eventually it will bounce back and you will actually eat a lot more and you will gain all the weight back. So going hungry is not the solution. Same way, counting calories is not a solution. Many programs, many computer programs, many phone apps, both on iPhone and Android, actually have a lot of calorie counting programs, including MyFitnessPal and many other programs ask you to count the calories. Counting calories does not work. Counting calories is very, very cumbersome, very tedious, takes up a lot of time, not very accurate, because when you make something food at home, it's hard to exactly count the calories because amount of different ingredients you put will be very cumbersome to calculate how many calories in each item. So counting calorie does not work. It's just too cumbersome and too boring and requires too much time. Plus, it's not necessary. The program I'm going to show you, you don't have to count the calories. So don't worry about counting the calories at all. I will show you how you can lose without counting calorie, without controlling your portion size. So again, let's go to the next thing, which is one of the newer thing, and that is called intermittent fasting. The reason I want to throw that topic right now because intermittent fasting is very, very popular right now, and intermittent fasting is important and it works. So what is intermittent fasting? Intermittent fasting means eating between certain hours of the day, typically between 8 and 12 hours. That means going hungry 16 to 12 hours. When a person eats within 8 to 12 hours and does not eat for 16 to 12 hours, that's called intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting has shown many benefits, including losing weight, including preventing pre-diabetes, diabetes, including living long, including preventing many cancers, including preventing many heart disease, including even preventing Alzheimer's, including even improving sleep. So intermittent fasting is beneficial and is important. So I want all of you to commit once you start, once you set a date to lose weight, commit to eating within 8 to 12 hours per day. So once you start eating in the morning, try to finish all your food within 8 to 12 hours. So what should be the schedule of intermittent fasting? The best schedule, in my opinion, the healthiest schedule, in my opinion, is having a heavy breakfast and having a very light dinner by 5:30 or 6 o'clock. Having a heavy breakfast and very light dinner. In America, it's slightly difficult because most of us are socially accustomed to eating heavy dinner in the evening. Even since I came to America, I've been habit of eating heavy dinner. In India, when I was growing up, lunch was the heaviest meal and dinner was the lightest meal. In America, dinner is the heaviest meal. So if you want to do intermittent fasting in America, dinner will be the one which will be moderate to heavy meal. But that dinner has to be 4 hours before you go to sleep. So if you have a breakfast in the morning, 7 or 7:30, try to finish your dinner by 5:30 or 6 o'clock if you can. That will give you about 12 to 14 hours of intermittent fasting. If you want to be the most scientific, most healthy way, have a heavy breakfast and have very, very light, only about 3 to 400 calorie dinner with only vegetables and fruits. So have the lightest dinner and have the heaviest breakfast. And I'll show you what each meal should include as we go in this seminar. So again, intermittent fasting is very, very important. I want you to watch. I've done a video on intermittent fasting. It's already available on YouTube. So watch that video on intermittent fasting. There was another question about water only fast. Let me tell you, water only fast works. So you can do water only fast for 24 hours, 48 hours. Some people have done even 5 days. Some people have done even 3 weeks. Some people have even done even longer. If you can do water only fast for one day, it typically would be safe. Obviously, if you have any medical condition, including diabetes, high blood pressure, check with your doctor before you do water only fast. For water only fast, for one day would be safe to do at home. Once you start doing water only fast more than 3 to 5 days, you may need a medical supervision. There are places where you can go and stay and do water only fast. One of that places is True North Center in California, which can actually help you to do water only fast up to 3 weeks. And we will go, as we go in this seminar, I will tell you the benefits of water only fast. When I lost my 50 pounds 4 years ago, I was doing every other day water only fast. So I ate one day and next day I did not eat any calorie. Only thing I had was water and black coffee. And I lost weight very fast. So if you have a, if you have a desire to lose weight in a rapid way, you can do every other day water only fast, or 1 or 2 days a week water only fast. Water only fast has many non-weight loss benefits, which we will cover as we go. Water only fast not only help you to lose weight, but it will help you to make you live long. It also can cause a condition called autophagy, where you actually are cleaning out many of the precancerous cells, many of the dead parts of the cells in the body, and autophagy is very important. Water only fast, when you do day 2 or 3 or longer, it also makes you live long. It also improves your sleep. It also clears out a lot of the visceral fat. So water only fast is very right thing to do, good thing to do, as long as you can handle it. A lot of people are not able to do water only fast more than like 12 or 16 or 24 hours, and that's okay. Fasting is not mandatory in my program to lose weight, but if you are able to do water only fast, you will lose weight in a rapid way. Uh, Next thing is a question of Next thing is a question of making this weight loss program a lifestyle, because this is not a diet you go on. As we know, the statistics says that 999 out of 1,000 people, when they lose weight, they gain the weight back in 2 years. And it's not 99 out of 100, it's 999 out of 1,000 people. So almost everybody gained the weight back in 2 years. And I'm sure many of our viewers have gone through that. I lost 50 pounds and I maintained a 50-pound weight loss. And the reason is because we are not going on a diet. We are not going on a fad diet. We are going on a change in a lifestyle. So we have to make this journey as a new lifestyle of eating whole food, plant-based, no oil diet. This is a new lifestyle for next 30, 50, whatever years you're going to live. So this is a new lifestyle. This is not just a fat diet for 1 month, 3 months, because a wedding is coming up or because summer is coming up and you want to go on a beach. This is going to be a new lifestyle. A new lifestyle will require a lot of mindset, a lot of planning, a lot of creating environment, and also require addressing all the 6 pillars of healthy lifestyle, which we will cover as we go in this seminar. Uh, I also want to cover a little bit about keto diet, because a lot of people are on keto diet. Keto diet is a diet where people eat very low amount of carb. In my opinion, keto diet are not healthy. Obviously, a lot of people follow, millions of Americans follow keto diet, and they may disagree with me. But in my opinion, my humble opinion, based on what I have read, based on the science, based on what I've seen, keto diet actually is going to kill more people than COVID-19 and many other chronic disease. Keto diet has a lot of fat, a lot of animal fat, a lot of saturated fat. It raises your cholesterol. It brings a lot of the premature heart disease, and keto diet is not good for you. Keto diet may make you lose weight in a quick way in 1 week, 2 weeks, and you will lose 5, 10 pounds in 2, 3 weeks. But much of that weight is a water loss, and you will gain most of the weight back. So I sincerely think keto diet is not healthy. Keto diet is a lot of saturated fat, and that should be avoided by all means. Also, there is another diet called paleo diet. In my opinion, paleo diet should be also avoided. Paleo diet has a lot of animal protein, almost 30 to 35%. And animal protein, as we go in the seminar, I'll show you animal protein is not also healthy for you. Animal protein can stimulate a lot of the pathways, including mTOR pathway, including IGF-1 pathway, and those pathways can cause many cancers and much of the premature aging and premature death. So again, avoid paleo diet also. Same thing applies to old Atkins diets. In my opinion, keto diet is nothing but an old Atkins diet with new clothes. And Atkins diets is now history. Nobody follows Atkins diets. Keto diet is essentially a new name for Atkins diet. Keto diet, Atkins diet, paleo diet should be avoided as much as possible. The best diet, in my opinion, is a whole food, plant based, no oil diet as much as you can. Does it mean that you have to go vegan? I'm not asking all of you to go vegan. I'm myself a vegan 99.9%. I once in a while I have a cheese or dairy, but at our house we are 100% vegan. So I don't want you to be a vegan person, but I want you to limit animal products no more than 10% of your calories. So your 90% calories should come from whole food, plant-based, no oil diet. That means lots of green vegetables, raw and water-based cooked, lots of intact grains. We'll talk about what are those intact grains. A lot of the beans, legumes, and lentils obviously cooked, a lot of the fruits. And animal products should be less than 10%. And as we all know, much of the factory farm animal products, much of the mercury-laden fish, much of the processed dairy, including cheese and fruit-based yogurts, those are not healthy. So your 10% of your animal products should be uh, grass-fed meat and mercury-free fresh, and many of the naturally raised chicken and other things. So again, 10% calories from animal products. Ideally, you should try to go vegan, in my opinion, but I'm not going to ask you, I'm not going to force you to be vegan. Becoming vegan is good for our environment, good for animal cruelty. So doing those things are right thing to do, but obviously it's difficult for many people, including many Americans. So I'm not asking you to go vegan, just do 90% whole food, plant-based, no oil diet. Definitely no keto diet, in my opinion. Do your own research, read about it, watch a lot of YouTube videos, and ask your doctor, but definitely avoid the keto diet as much as possible. Um, uh, Let me also throw in this thing that when we talk about eating a lot of the green vegetables, in my opinion, every meal should have green vegetable. Every meal should have green vegetable. The person who I learned from is Chef AJ. Chef AJ is one of the most popular weight loss expert on YouTube and Facebook and on the internet. I highly recommend you to watch Chef AJ's YouTube videos. Matter of fact, she's doing at least one or two live every day on YouTube. So subscribe to her channel. She actually highly recommends, and she has lost tons of weight, 50, 60 pounds, by eating green vegetables with breakfast, with lunch, and with dinner. So eat green vegetables raw or water-based cooked with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And when we talk about eating green vegetables, try to avoid all those high calorie dressing. High calorie dressing. The way my wife makes our salads, our green vegetables, is by chopping those green vegetables in a small pieces, almost like a chopped salad, with adding a lot of different fruits, including banana, including apple, including berries, including grapes. So we don't need dressing. The salad she makes for us and for me is very tasty, has a natural fruit taste to it. Sometimes you would put seeds to it. Sometimes you would put walnuts and almonds and cashews. So it has a small amount of healthy fat, and that salad does not require any ranch dressing or any kind of high calorie dressing. If you need to have any kind of dressing type substance, then try to use apple cider vinegar in a water, obviously, and try to use lemon juice or try to use balsamic vinegar. California has a company for balsamic vinegar. We have that. I'll show you that one day. But using balsamic vinegar or using lemon juice or using apple cider vinegar not only will help you to have a low calorie, but it will also help you to lose weight. Apple cider vinegar has a lot of benefits besides being low calorie or no calorie. It also has benefits in terms of losing weight, which we'll cover as we go in this seminar. So apple cider vinegar is coming up as we go in this seminar. The next thing is that when we talk about eating healthy, there are certain ingredients in our food which are must and which are most important if you want to lose weight. So every food you put in your mouth, I want you to start to think and start to understand and start to recognize following ingredients. Number one, how much water is in that food? When water has no calorie, so whenever the food has a lots of water, automatically it will give you the volume, but it will have a less calorie. And second thing, I want you to start to make a verbal and a mental note is how much fiber has in that food. Fiber. As American, we eat very low amount of fiber. The average recommendation for fiber is 35 grams per day. In my opinion, if you want to lose weight, you should be eating 50 to 70 grams of fiber per day. 50 to 75 grams of fiber a day. 50, 100, 200 years ago, we were eating 50 to 100 grams of fiber. In Paleolithic diet, thousands of years ago, like 10,000, 15,000 years ago, before cultivation of grain, before the dairy, those people, those ancestors, 10, 15,000 years ago, were eating anywhere from 100 to 150 grams of fiber, and they were all lean. So fiber is the most important ingredient after the water in your diet, in your every food item. So make a mental note of how much fiber the food has. I realized that in America, every person is more obsessed how much the protein is in each food item. Every person is obsessed how much protein is in each item. Let me tell you, that's a wrong obsession. And as in this seminar, I'll show you why protein is probably the least important ingredient in our diet. All my personal trainers, all my friends, including many doctors, including many nutritionists, including many dietitians, always say have a high protein diet, have a protein in every meal. Let me tell you, that's a wrong thing to understand, wrong thing to learn. The most important ingredient is the fiber in every food you're going to eat. And fiber only comes from plant-based food. Fiber is zero in all animal products. That means a steak has zero fiber, cheese has a zero fiber, chicken has a zero fiber, fish has a zero fiber. So if you want to have a high fiber diet, which will help you to feel full, which will have a lot of other benefits we'll talk about in a second. Definitely have a whole food, plant-based food. A lot of the processed food, a lot of the bagged food has actually fiber removed because fiber lowers the shelf life. So a lot of the processed food, fiber is removed. A lot of the processed food, water is removed because water also lowers the shelf life. So definitely processed food has a low fiber. So if you want to have a 50, 60, 70 gram of fiber, eat as much whole food, plant-based, no oil diet as much as possible. I have a separate video on YouTube on how much fiber you should have and importance of fiber. Let me throw in the importance of fiber. If you want to lose weight, start to understand the term called microbiome. Microbiome is very, very important to understand. Microbiome means all different type of organisms we have in our body, including bacteria, including virus, including many of the parasites and protozoas. And much of the large microbiome is actually in our intestine. Our colon has a large amount of bacteria, almost 100 trillion bacteria. We actually have more bacterial cells in our body than human cells. Humans have about 35 trillion cells in the body, and there are 100 trillion bacteria in the colon. So we actually are more bacteria than more even human. And the genetics, the genes of those bacteria are almost 3 to 5 times or even more than even human genes. So those bacteria in the colon plays a large role. And those bacteria are not sitting idly, they are actually having symbiotic relationship with our body. Those bacteria actually makes a lot of the substances which actually helps you to live a healthy life. When we eat fiber, particularly soluble fiber, those soluble fiber goes to the colon, and those bacteria, healthy bacteria in the colon, makes those soluble fiber into substance called small chain fatty acid. Small chain fatty acid. And those small chain fatty acids have tons and tons of benefit, including your mood, including preventing depression, including preventing obesity, including preventing pre-diabetes, diabetes, Alzheimer's disease, even many cancers, even giving you satiety, even including you in preventing hunger. So those small chain fatty acids have a lot of benefits. The reason I say all this thing is because eating soluble fiber is very important to feed the bacteria, the microbiome in your colon. When you have a healthy microbiome, you will have weight loss, you will have a good health. So please watch my video on healthy microbiome and on fiber. It's already available on YouTube, and it's about 30-35 minutes long. It's worth watching it. Obviously, you can watch a lot of other YouTube videos also on microbiome and importance of fiber. There's a book by Dr. Bilsowitz called Fiber Fuel. Fiber Fuel. That's one of the important book. I've read it multiple times. If you are interested in eating more fiber and learning more about fiber and microbiome, it's worth getting a book called Fiber Fuel by Dr. Bilsowitz. He's one of the top gastroenterologists in the country right now, very popular on lecture circuit, very popular on YouTube. And the book name is again Fiber Fuel. The next question was that, do I need to listen to you, Dr. Shah, if I don't need to lose weight? And that's a valid question, because today's seminar is a weight loss seminar. If somebody does not need to lose weight, do we need to listen to this lecture? Let me tell you, eating healthy is important for lean people also. I've seen a lot of lean people developing heart attack, developing cancer, dying prematurely, developing many other chronic disease. So being lean is not a guarantee that you will have a good health. So even lean people need to eat healthy, whole food, plant-based, no oil diet. So even lean people need to eat healthy. Uh, I think when it comes down to eating healthy, how you cook is also very important. And definitely, like I said, oil is a very calorie dense food. My wife will show you how to cook without oil with water-based cooking, with water-based sauteing, or vegetable broth-based sauteing. So please stay tuned for learning how to cook without oil. For people from India, this will be definitely a happy surprise that you can actually make a lot of the same Indian items, even some of the Punjabi foods, some of the South Indian foods, even some of the Gujarati foods without any kind of oil cooking at all. I'm also going to cover topic on emotional eating. Emotional eating is one of the common reason for not able to lose weight and many times weight loss coming back. Emotional eating means when we are stressed at home, either with family member or with a spouse or with a friend, or we are stressed at work. And when we come home or even in the house, when those emotions are running high, we automatically reach out for comfort food. And that's one of the common reason a lot of the weight loss doesn't happen. A lot of people have emotional eating every evening, even every night. And those emotional eating most of the time is very unhealthy food, very empty calories, including alcohol, including beers, including ice cream, including cookies, including cakes, including pizza. So what can you do about emotional eating? Emotional eating is very common. At the same time, there are a lot of things you can do about emotional eating. A person who has a concern for emotional eating can do many things. You can just go out for a walk when you feel like you want to eat because your emotions are high. Just go out for a walk on a sunny day, walk out in the nature, walk out in the grass. You can call up a friend. You can actually post in a weight loss group. You can read a book. You can watch a nice, funny show. You can just take a nap. You can do meditation. You can sit in a sauna if you have access to. You can just run out to a gym. You can actually sit in the sun on a deck. You can do many, many things. You can do meditation. You can do pranayama or breathing exercise. You can do many, many things when you have emotional eating. If you cannot overcome emotional eating, create an environment in your house that you have access to only healthy food. When you're emotional eating, munch on apple, munch on any of the fruits, munch on any vegetable. And those are low calorie dense food, and even emotional eating will not make you gain weight and will continue to lose weight on a regular basis. So definitely emotional eating is a common thing, and that can be handled with many, many different techniques. I've given you some of the techniques, so handle your emotional eating as much as possible. There was the next question about how about dairy. Dairy, in my opinion, should be avoided as much as possible. If you like dairy, then try to have as little as possible. There was also a recent study done where fat-free dairy was actually detrimental in weight loss. So if you want to have any dairy, have a full-fat dairy, very, very small amount. Ideally, dairy should be zero by all means. Definitely avoid any kind of processed dairy, particularly cheese, because cheese has lots of saturated fat, lots of salt, and lots of calories per pound. So try to avoid cheese as much as possible. If you want to have pizza, have a cauliflower pizza with lots of vegetables, and even have a whole wheat pizza with a lot of vegetables, but not have any cheese on it. Definitely avoid white flour pizza as much as possible. So try to avoid dairy products as much as possible, not in just terms of the weight loss, but many dairy products contain casein, which has a cause shown to cause cancer. A glass of milk actually is now shown, a glass of milk every day now is shown to cause breast cancer, has shown to cause prostate cancer, and many other cancers. The dairy actually stimulates IGF-1 pathway, which can also cause many cancers. So try to avoid dairy as much as possible. Dairy actually also can cause a lot of inflammation. A lot of people with acne, a lot of people with asthma can also get benefit if they eliminate dairy. A lot of people are lactose intolerant. Matter of fact, 70% of the world population is lactose intolerant. So if you're having any abdominal pains and if you're consuming dairy, try to eliminate dairy and see what happens to your abdominal pain, your belly pain, your stomach upsets, your diarrhea, your constipation. So if you're having lactose intolerance, try to avoid dairy, try to eliminate dairy as much as possible. If you're watching this, please share on your page. Uh, I hope you're enjoying. I hope you're learning. We are just starting. We are about hour and a half into it. A lot of way to go. Also, let me tell you, when it comes down to the weight loss, we are on a lifelong journey. We are on a sprint. Actually, we are on a marathon. We are not on a sprint. We don't need to lose weight in 1 month or 2 months. It will take long term if you have a lot of weight to lose. If you have 50 pounds to lose, it may take you 1 year, even 1 to 2 years. When Chef AJ lost her 50 pounds, it took her 27 months. So she was losing about 2 pounds, 2 to 3 pounds per month, 2 pounds per month. So don't be discouraged if you're losing only 2 3 pounds a month. First month you will lose maybe 4 or 5 pounds, but then your weight loss may slow down and you will lose about 2 to 3 pounds per month. That's still a very good pace, and you will lose 35 to 40 pounds per year. Obviously, if you are strict, if you go 100% whole food, plant based, no oil diet, if you eliminate all processed food, if you eliminate all animal products, if you eliminate all oil, if you stop eating at the restaurants, if you do intermittent fasting, if you do water only fasting, you will lose much more weight. You may lose even 50 to 60 pounds per year. So again, it depends upon what pace you go in terms of your program. Um, um, Again, as you lose weight, I want you to understand the goal is to lose fat. Goal is not to lose muscle. If you lose weight too quick, like some of the keto diet does, then you will actually be losing muscle. And to not lose muscle, the best way you will not lose muscle as you lose weight is to do strength training. So as you go on this weight loss journey, I want you to make a habit of doing some kind of strength training. And that strength training could be lifting light weights, or doing some push-up or squats, or doing pull-ups if your body can allow it, or doing machine-based weight training at a gym, or doing free weight training if your body can handle it. So doing strength training will maintain the muscle mass as you lose fat in the body. So definitely do strength training if you want to lose weight and lose only the fat, not lose any muscle mass. Because when you lose the muscle mass, actually your basal metabolic rate goes down, and in the long term it's very detrimental. When the weight some of the weight comes back, it comes back as a fat, and muscle takes long time to come back. So do everything possible not to lose any muscle, not to lose any muscle. Next question was that how much water I should be drinking every day. Let me tell you one thing. Water is one of the most important macronutrient. Even though we all know there are three macronutrients: carbohydrate, protein, and fat, but water is also a macronutrient. We cannot survive without water. We can survive without food for a few days, few weeks, but we cannot survive without just plain water. We all need water every day. So how much water we should be drinking? In my opinion, if you are going on this weight loss journey, you should be drinking minimum 64 ounces of water, preferably more than that, up to 1 gallon of water, or even more than 1 gallon. People who eat a lot of whole food, plant-based, no oil diet, they may need less water because all that food has a high content of water. So they may not need that much water. But people who are still eating animal products and processed food, they will need a lot more water than people who are whole food, plant-based, no oil diet. So there should be minimum 64 ounces of water, preferably up to 1 gallon of water. You should be drinking at least eight ounces of water every hour or two. The easy way to know whether you're drinking enough water or not, that if you are passing the urine every hour or two, which is a light color urine. If your color is dark yellow, that means you are not drinking enough water. Again, water has 0 calorie, so water drinking will expand your stomach and will make you eat less. Many of us, when we are thirsty, we confuse that we are hungry and we reach out for food when we are thirsty. Only thing we needed was the water. So when you are thirsty, it's too late. You already are behind in terms of your hydration, and you are not drinking enough water. So try to drink minimum 64 ounces of water, preferably up to 1 gallon of water. Also, there is a concept of preloading, which will go as we go on the seminar. And concept of preloading is very important. Preloading means before each meal, you do certain thing. You preload your meal with certain thing which will make you eat less of those other calorie dense food. And drinking water is preloading. So I ask you, starting today, if you want to lose weight, drink a large glass of water or even 2 glasses of water before your breakfast, before your lunch, and before the dinner. So drink a glass or two, large glass or two of water, just a plain water before your breakfast, before your lunch, and before your dinner. Let me tell you one thing, that simple biohack, that simple trick will make you lose weight, will make you eat less calories with your meal, and you will lose weight. So drink water with each meal before the meal. There are other ways of preloading also. Let me just give you right now, so that way I will cover it right now. You can preload your meal with a fruit like apple or two, or you can preload your meal with a lot of salads or vegetables. Those things are low calorie dense food. When you eat an apple, which has a 75 to 100 calories, and if you eat it before your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, in breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you will end up actually eating almost 200 calories less, because apple will give you water and fiber and volume, and you will eat less of the main dish. So preloading concept is very important. Dr. Michael Greger's book, How Not to Diet, clearly goes into details of preloading. So preloading is very, very important. Uh, We'll also cover about intact grains. So intact grains concept is very important. And there is a thing called hierarchy of grains, means which grain is the best grain, which grain is the worst grain. And let me tell you, the hierarchy of grains term was coined by Brenda Davis. There is a separate video on YouTube by Brenda Davis. Only it's about 12 minutes long, and that video is one of the most important video. Let me tell you as we go, but let me cover right now intact grains. The best grains are intact grains in terms of the hierarchy of grains. Intact grains are the best grains. And some of those intact grains include brown rice, black rice, quinoa, oat groat, millet, barley, kamut. All those things are the intact grains. Next things are the still cut grains, then the roll grains, then and the and then the flour itself, which are flour itself, and the worst kind of grains are the puff grains. Like in India, many people eat those puff rice. Let me tell you, that's the worst kind of grain. So if you want to have any grains, have intact grains. Even if you want to make better than intact grain, then sprout your grains. Sprouted grains are the best grains. And you can sprout your grains overnight, and they will be actually giving you a lot more health, a lot more micronutrients than even intact grains. So understand and learn the hierarchy of grains. There's a separate video by Brenda Davis, but I just summarize simply what all those grains mean. Try to eat intact grains only, not eat any flour. Flour should be eliminated, which I'll show you what Chef AJ teaches us. Flour should not be part of our diet if you want to lose weight. That means white bread or any kind of bread should be eliminated. Flour should be eliminated. That means making roti at home, making puri at home, making naan at home, or eating those things at a restaurant should be eliminated if you want to lose weight. Again, if you're watching, please go ahead and comment. Please share on your page. There was a question about, is hot water better than cold water? Actually, cold water will make you lose better, will make you lose weight better than the hot water. When the body has to warm up the cold water to the body temperature, it burns some calories. So drinking a glass of cold water, glass or two of cold water is drinking better than hot water in terms of the weight loss. Obviously, it's a personal preference. Some people cannot handle cold water. The stomach gets upset. But in general, drinking cold water is better than the hot water in terms of the weight loss. The next thing is, which I want you to understand as you listen to this seminar and as you listen to many of my weight loss talk, that your physician, your doctor, both your GP and your primary care physician, including your diabetes doctor, may not have enough education about nutrition. When I was in my medical school, when I was in my residency and fellowship, the education on nutrition was close to be zero. Most doctors are not trained to talk about what we should eat or the nutrition. They always refer the patients out to a nutritionist or a dietitian. And that's the reason when it comes down to learning about nutrition, you actually maybe better learn from books, from watching YouTube videos, following my channel, following my YouTube channel, listening to my Facebook lives, because I've taken personal effort to learn everything about nutrition, learn everything about what you should eat, not just to lose weight, but just to get healthier and live long. So let me tell you one thing, you cannot rely upon your doctor in terms of the nutrition knowledge because they don't have enough training. Now, obviously, some doctors who are very knowledgeable about nutrition, they've taken special courses in nutrition. You can learn from them. You can actually rely on them. But most doctors in general are not knowledgeable about nutrition. Also, when it comes down to doctor, I want you to have a doctor, both GP and a primary care physician, who are actually also believe in lifestyle changes. Doctors who just push pills and who also only believes in procedures, in my opinion, are not doing a good service to their patients. Doctors should be promoting lifestyle as a primary tool in terms of getting healthier, not pushing pills and not doing many procedures. I got board certified into lifestyle medicine 3 years ago, and many doctors are getting board certified into lifestyle medicine. There is also a field called functional medicine, integrative medicine. So see if your doctor has a board certification into lifestyle medicine, functional medicine, or integrative medicine. Those doctors in general believe more into lifestyle changes and living healthier and following 6 pillars of healthy lifestyle. So let me tell you those 6 pillars of healthy lifestyle, because those 6 pillars are not just important for living healthy and living long, but also important for weight loss. And those 6 pillars include what you eat, your nutrition, and again, that should be whole food, plant based, no oil. How much exercise you do, and we'll talk about that. How much sleep you have, and we'll talk about that. What kind of stress you have every day, what kind of substance abuse you have, including alcohol, and what kind of relationship you have. All those 6 pillars are important even in the weight loss. I have a separate video on YouTube, those 6 pillars of healthy lifestyle. If you want to lose weight, you should be watching those 6 pillars of healthy lifestyle also. Um, so again, we talked about intermittent fasting, and it's important not just what you eat, but when you eat, what you eat, and when you eat also. Also, we talked about microbiome, and one way you can improve your microbiome is by eating fermented food. And you can make fermented food at home. You can make kimchi, you can make sauerkraut, you can make plant-based yogurts, you can make soy yogurt at home. You can make even many of the Indian dishes like andvo or dokra. Those are all fermented food. Fermented food has a natural bacteria, healthy bacteria, and that will actually go in your colon and will actually stay in your colon and will improve your microbiome. So eating fermented food is also very, very important. Um, when it comes down to certain labs, I covered certain labs earlier in this seminar, but one important lab I want you to ask your doctor to check is the insulin level. Insulin level. All of you who are obese, BMI above 30, even BMI above 25, should know your insulin level. Insulin levels are very important. People who have high insulin level, they are insulin resistant, they have high chance of developing prediabetes and diabetes, and any insulin level above 15 is very, very dangerous. Even insulin level above 8.4 is very dangerous. My insulin level used to be 12 or 13 4 years ago. Now my insulin level runs anywhere from 4.5 to 6.2. So lowering your insulin level will also show you that you are actually reversing your insulin resistance and you are becoming more insulin sensitive. So ask your doctor to check insulin level also. Other thing I want your ask doctor to check is liver enzymes, particularly ALT and AST. Liver enzymes will tell you whether you have a fat in the liver or not. People who are obese, the very high risk of developing fatty liver, and checking liver enzymes is also very, very important. Um, so a lot of people ask me that, please give me what I should be eating to lose weight. Let me tell you a simple way, and then we will go into details as we go in this seminar. You should be eating 1 pound of raw green vegetables every day. Either you can eyeball 1 pound, or you can actually have a scale, kitchen scale at home, and measure 1 pound of raw green vegetables and divide them into containers for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So have 1 pound of raw green vegetables per day. Have a 1 pound of cooked green vegetables per day, and that could be water-based cook or just vegetable broth-based cook, and divide them into 3 containers and eat 1 pound of cooked vegetables per day. I want you to have 1 pound of bean, lentils, and legumes per day, divided into 3: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Many people don't eat legumes in their breakfast, but let me tell you, Brenda Davis, one of the great dietitian, clearly recommends to eat legumes, beans, or lentils even in breakfast, also in lunch and dinner. That gives you adequate protein even in the breakfast, plant-based protein, which we'll talk about is why plant-based protein are more healthy and much more safer than animal-based protein. So have 1 pound of beans, legumes, and lentils divided into three every day. Have intact grains. We just covered intact grains. About 1 pound of intact grain divided into three: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 1 pound of intact grain, and then have fruits. At least 1 pound, about 5 to 7 servings of fruits every day. Even though this amount of food, which is almost 3 to 5 pounds of food per day, 3 to 5 pounds of food per day, your total calories will be only about 1500 calories per day, and you will have a satiety and you will start losing weight automatically. This is the ideal diet. If you can follow it, you will start losing weight. Nobody has to do it 100%. Do the best you can. Obviously, you can have some dairy, some animal products, some processed food, but try to base your diet, base your everyday meals based on what I just showed you. If you follow what I just showed you by the scale, you will start losing weight 3 to 5 pounds, 1 to 3 pounds per week, 1 to 3 pounds per week, and you will be eating 3 to 5 pounds of food per day. You will have satiety. You will never go hungry. The next thing I want you to do starting today is try to have 19 out of 21 meals at home. We eat 3 meals per day. That's a 21 meals per week. So try to eat 19 out of 21 meals from home. That means going out to restaurant no more than once or twice a week, taking your lunch from home, not eating at the cafeteria. Even the hospital I work, the food many times is not healthy. Many hospitals serve a lot of the unhealthy food, including a lot of fried food, a lot of red meat, even a lot of processed meat, including bacon, a lot of cheese, a lot of white bread, a lot of soda, a lot of chips, a lot of cookies. Even hospitals don't sell healthy food. So try to take your lunch from home as much as possible. And you can prepare your lunch by preparing the night before or just batch cooking once or twice a week, so that way you don't have to make lunch every evening. I'll show you how to batch cook. My wife will show you how to batch cook. We at our house do batch cooking on a regular basis. So batch cooking is also an important skill to learn. So again, try to eat 19 out of 21 meals at home as much as possible. I'll also show you if you need to eat at the restaurant, how you can safely eat at the restaurant a healthy food. And as we go, I'll show you how to eat at the restaurant also. I'll also show you how to eat at the parties because we all are social people. We go to friends' house, we go to family's house, we go to graduation, we go to weddings. How you can eat healthy food at the parties also. When you go to the restaurant, call ahead and see what they serve whole food, plant-based. If they serve any kind of salads, try to have a large salad as much as possible. Try to have fruits as dessert. If you eat any oily food, try to have the smallest amount possible. If you have animal product like a steak or chicken or fish, try to have the smallest possible. Definitely, all the portion size in restaurant are 2 or 3 times than a person needs. So if you order any dish, divide it into 2 or 3 parts and pack it before even you start eating and take it out for your next day's lunch or dinner. So try to eat half of the typical dish at the restaurant or even 1/3 of the dish, or split the dish with your spouse or with your friend or with your family member. Drink water as the best drink at the restaurant. If you want to have iced tea. If you want to have alcohol, have the lowest calorie alcohol. Try to avoid high calorie beers and high calorie sugary alcoholic drinks. All those adds up, and before you know, you have 1,500, 2,000 calorie for a dinner at the restaurant, and that will sabotage your weight loss program, and you will be few days behind in terms of the weight loss. Same way, if you go to a party or if you want to go to a graduation or if you go to a wedding, if you go to party, try to offer the host that you will bring a healthy food item. Many hosts are actually eager to have you bring food from home. Many parties are potluck parties, and you can actually set a healthy example by bringing a healthy dish from your own home. You can take a large salad with fruits like I showed you earlier. you can take intact grain, you can take fruits, you can take a lentil dish, or you can take many healthy dish. Obviously, if you go to a wedding, try to eat as healthy as possible. If you go to graduation, try to eat as healthy as possible. Let me also tell you a concept. Let me tell you a concept of what our stomach is made out of. Our stomach is made out of three kind of receptors. One is a caloric receptor, one is a stretch receptor, and one is a micronutrient receptors. So stomach has a three types of receptor. And when we eat food, the food try to satisfy all three type of receptors. When we stretch the stretch receptors in the stomach, it actually sends a signals to the brain that we have had enough food, and now there's a satiety and we should stop eating the more food, and those are stress receptors. When we have a calorie receptors, when we have adequate calories, it actually tells our stomach to send the signals to the brain that we have enough calories and stop eating the food. And same thing, micronutrient receptors. Stomach also has a micronutrient receptors. When we have enough micronutrients, we actually stop eating more food because it sends signals to the brain. The way to handle overeating is to satisfy your stress receptors and satisfy your micronutrient receptors. Because if you satisfy the stomach with caloric receptor, then you will eat too many calories to satisfy the caloric receptor. The way you can satisfy the stretch receptor is by stretching the stomach with water and fiber. And that's the reason I've been explaining you that eat more water and more fiber with every food item goes in your mouth. That will stretch the stretch receptor and will make you eat less. Same way, try to eat micronutrient dense food. Micronutrients are the nutrients which are not measured in macro amount, but they are in very micro amount. They're very important for good health, but they are very, very small amount. And micronutrients actually typically are found into plant-based food. There are very few micronutrients in animal-based food. Plant-based food gives you micronutrients, phytochemicals, many vitamins, many minerals. So when you have those micronutrients in your food, in your each bite you take, those micronutrient receptors get satisfied, send signals to the brain that you had enough micronutrient, stop eating. On the other hand, if you keep eating low micronutrient food, like a lot of the animal products, a lot of the processed food, then your stomach will keep asking for more and more food because those micronutrients are not satisfied. So we all need micronutrient. And that's where concept of micronutrient access comes in. When you have micronutrient coming in a large amount, you will automatically eat less food. Your body will be satisfied of micronutrient and body will not keep asking for more food to get more micronutrient. And that's where equation of Dr. Joe Furman comes in very handy. And that equation is H equals N over C. H equals N over C. H stands for health, N means nutrients or micronutrients, and C means calories. When you have more micronutrients and less calorie, your value of the H goes up because calorie is in the denominator. So you should be having tons of micronutrient and very little calorie. And only food which gives you that is a plant-based food, whole food, plant-based, with no oil food. When you eat processed food, when you eat animal products, it has a very less micronutrient and very large calorie. So your H becomes very small, and that's the reason I keep asking myself to eat food with micronutrients and less calories. That's a way to live long. That's a way to live healthy. That's a way to lose weight, and that's a way to become lean person. Let me also cover one of the pillar of the six pillars of healthy lifestyle because it's important when it comes down to weight loss. And that pillar is sleep. When we don't sleep adequately, that means when we sleep less than 5 hours, particularly, we actually have a next day higher appetite. We actually look out for a lot of unhealthy food. We look out for almost 3 to 500. We we need we eat actually 3 to 500 calorie extra food. So sleep is very important. We need minimum 7 to 8 hours of sleep if you want to lose weight. And sleep has to be not just in terms of the hours, but in terms of the quality. So sleep has to have good amount of REM sleep, good amount of deep sleep, and good amount of light sleep. And to increase your sleep, both in terms of quantity and quality, we have to do certain things. I have a separate video on how to improve sleep. It's already on YouTube. Please watch that video. But some of the things you can do is go to the sleep in the evening at the same time, 9:30 or 10 o'clock every night. Wake up next morning at the same time. Try to avoid any kind of blue light, which are typically phones, iPads, TV, computers. Try to avoid that. Expose yourself in the morning in the sunlight. Not have a very late meal. Try to take a hot shower. Try not to watch very stimulating shows or news in the evening. Meditate before you go to sleep. Sit in the sauna before you go to sleep. All those things will help you to improve your sleep. When your sleep improves, a lot of things improve. You eat actually less calories when you have adequate sleep. Your mood gets better. Your depression goes away. You have a mood to exercise. Your willpower improves. You avoid those temptations. So make sure you have a good sleep if you want to lose weight. Next thing you can do is free up some of the hours in your life to stay focused on losing weight. If you are working a lot of overtime and if you don't need that much money, try to cut back on the overtime and put those hours into your health, into efforts to lose weight. If you're working 40 hours and if you can afford to work 30 hours and have those 10 hours in your health in losing efforts to lose weight. So working excessive hours also is stressful, also doesn't give you time to plan your life, doesn't give you time to cook at home, and all those things becomes an issue when it comes down to weight loss. So try to work whatever your finances require. Try to be balanced in terms of how much money you spend and how many hours you should work and how much efforts and resources you should put in your health. Um, so there was a question that does beans and lentils have so much carb? Yes, actually, when you look at the animal protein or animal products, and when you look at the beans, lentils, and legumes, uh, plant-based protein have more carb, but those carb are actually resistant carb or resistant starch. And those carbs actually are good for you. They are good for your microbiome. And actually, in my opinion, carb is never an enemy. And let me cover that topic on the carb also. When it comes down to macro ratio, macronutrients are actually carbohydrate, fat, and protein. When it comes down to macro ratio should be 65% carb, 25% fat, and 10% protein. When you look at some of the keto diet, where carb is only 5 to 10%, fat is almost 60%, and protein is about 20, 25%. In paleo diet, fat is about 40, 45%, protein is 20, 25%, and carb is 25, 30%. In my opinion, and based on a lot of long-term studies and based on a lot of the observational studies, people who eat 50 to 70% carb live long. People who eat 50 to 70% carb are lean and healthy. Again, when we're talking about eating carb, we are talking about whole food, plant-based, complex carb, not refined carb, not sugar, not white bread, not white rice. So all the complex carb, more you eat, better for you. Typically, most plant-based complex carb comes along with water and fiber, and that's a right thing to do. So eating more carb is never an issue. It's what type of carb you eat. Obviously, when we talk about not eating carb, we are talking about sugar, which is a carb. We're talking about white bread, white rice, cake, cookies, and some of the refined carbohydrates. So avoid refined carbohydrate by all means, but definitely have all the carbohydrate you want to have in beans, lentils, intact grains, fruits. In fruits have carb, but those are healthy carb because it comes with water and fiber. So those carbs are healthy fiber. There was a question about that a person is just slim and they want to add weight. Obviously, you're fortunate if you are really slim, as long as you don't have any other medical conditions and you don't smoke other things, start eating healthy, have adequate calories, and you will gain weight. Obviously, being slim is nothing wrong as long as you are healthy. So most people, want to lose weight, but if you are slim, try to add some calories, plant-based calories, and you will gain weight. Uh, we covered about how much water you should drink. Let me also tell you that there's another way of knowing that whether you are eating healthy or not, and that's having a daily 1 to 2 large, medium consistency bowel movement. So if you are constipated, that means you are not eating enough whole food, plant-based, no oil diet. That means you're not having enough fiber in your diet. That means you need to eat more plant-based food. So if you're not having 1 to 2 large bowel movement, medium consistency per day, you will never lose weight. If you want to lose weight, if you want to maintain ideal body weight, have 1 to 2 large bowel movement, preferably first thing in the morning, every morning. So definitely have 1 to 2 large bowel movement every morning. Just like I said, pass a clear urine every hour or two. Definitely have 1 to 2 large bowel movement, medium consistency every day. That's almost knowing that you're getting adequate amount of fiber. We also covered about those processed grain or refined grain. That means avoiding any kind of flour. If you look at the Chef AJ's recommendation, she asked us that if you want to lose weight seriously, all flour should be avoided. That means all roti, all bread, all naan, all puri, all other kind of all chapatis, all tortillas, all those should be avoided because they're all made from the flour, and flour is a refined grain. Uh, uh, our breakfast at our house typically has oat groat or steep cut oats, and I have a recipe on oat groat which is coming up. There's one recipe already available on YouTube, so watch the recipe on oat groat. We already covered about grain hierarchy, what that YouTube video from Brenda Davis on grain hierarchy. I definitely want you to avoid all the breakfast cereals as much as possible. Breakfast cereals are some of the most processed food, and that should be avoided by all means. They're also very calorie dense food also. There was also a question about drinking soda, even the diet soda. All soda should be avoided, including Pepsi, including Coke, including Mountain Dew, including many of the energy drinks. My last soda was 4 years ago. Soda should be avoided. Soda has a lot of sugar, a lot of high fructose corn syrup, and that should be avoided. High fructose corn syrup is the reason many of the diabetes sets in, many of the fatty liver sets in. So we should be avoiding all high fructose corn syrup, all the soda. Same thing goes with the diet soda. Diet soda actually has shown now to affect our microbiome. Diet soda actually also increases your insulin level. Your body is prepared as if the sweet thing is coming. So diet soda should be avoided also. There's also a big reason not to even have orange juice or any kind of fruit juice or orange juice. When I came to this country, having a glass of orange juice every morning was a considered healthy thing to do. Let me tell you one thing, there is enough data, there is enough science, there's enough research that even orange juice every morning is unhealthy. Orange juice has a lot of sugar. Actually, it has shown to cause diabetes, even has shown to cause a lot of Alzheimer's disease and dementia. So avoid any kind of fruit juice as much as possible. If you like juice, if you like juice, green juice is fine once you get adequate amount of fiber in your diet. Green juice can give you a lot of micronutrient but doesn't give you fiber. So as long as you are getting adequate amount of raw and green cooked vegetables, getting adequate amount of beans and lentils and intact grains, you can have additional green juice to increase your micronutrients. But green juice only after you have eaten 3 to 5 grams of whole food plant-based food. There was a question of club soda. Club soda is fine. Club soda is 0 calorie, and club soda is as good as sparkling water. So club soda would be fine. Obviously, don't have club soda with scotch or whiskey or bourbon. So club soda, plain club soda is fine. There was also a question about how about smoothies. Smoothies are fine as long as you drink them very slowly. Smoothie has a high calorie density, so if you finish smoothie in 15 minutes, that's a lot of calories in 15 minutes, and that can spike your sugar. That can spike your insulin. So if you want to have smoothie in the morning or smoothie for the lunch, drink it over 1 hour, 1 to 1.5 hours, or even over 2 hours. And in your smoothie, you can put tons of all different type of vegetables. You can put different kind of fruits. You can put different kind of seeds. You can put different kind of nuts. You can make a smoothie with a complete meal. You can even though some people don't recommend, but if you're okay with it, you can even put some kind of vegan protein powder. I typically don't do that, but you can do that too if you want to get adequate amount of protein. If you're an older person, if you're an athlete, and if you need to get adequate amount of protein. So again, you can make smoothie at home, but make sure you drink smoothie slowly over 1 to 2 hours. Whenever I make my smoothie, I have a 1 hour commute and I take my smoothie with me and I drink it over hour, hour and a half. Actually, some people take smoothie in a soup bowl and drink the smoothie with a spoon, and that's a more healthier way of having smoothie instead of just chugging on in 15 or 20 minutes. Definitely uh, avoid juices, avoid fruit juices as much as possible. We already covered about apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar has a trick in terms of the weight loss. Apple cider vinegar stimulates your AMPK pathway, and that actually increases your metabolic rate, and that actually makes you help you to lose weight. So apple cider vinegar in a glass of water, once or twice a day before your meals will help you lose weight. Lemon juice will do the same thing. You can actually combine the lemon juice and apple cider vinegar and have it twice, 2 or 3 times a day, and that will help you with the weight loss. You can also use balsamic vinegar, which comes from many different companies. Balsamic vinegar has slightly more calories than apple cider vinegar, and but still much less calorie than some of the other dressings, including ranch dressings or other dressings, oil-based dressings. So balsamic vinegar can be in all different flavors, and that can add taste to your salads. So balsamic vinegars are okay as long as you have a small amount. There was a question about collagen powder or pills. Collagen powder or pills are not recommended. I don't take it myself. They are not necessary for prevention of wrinkles or joints or ligaments. And most of the collagen actually gets digested in the stomach or even in the intestine, and you don't absorb collagen itself. So collagen powder and collagen pills should be avoided as much as possible. Just have a protein from plants, and that will give you adequate amount of amino acids, and your body will make all the collagen you need. So you don't need to go on a collagen powder or collagen protein. There was a question that I drink alkaline water. Can I mix apple cider vinegar or lemon in my water? Yes, you can actually mix both apple cider vinegar and lemon in the water, and lemon actually will make it more alkaline, and that will definitely help. For the weight loss. So yes, definitely. Again, if you're watching this thing, please share on your page so other friends and family can watch it. Please have more comments. Please have more questions as we go. Let me tell you, as we go on, we are at about 2 hour mark. Please go and let me know if you are learning, if you are enjoying, if you are having a lot of fun. Please go ahead and comment that so I know that this is worth for you and for me to continue doing it. It's already been 2 hours. We still have a long way to go, but I hope you are learning. So please go ahead and comment if you're learning a lot today. Let me tell you a patient success story, because no matter how much I know, no much how much you know, but unless we have a success, we don't know whether what I'm teaching you is going to work or not. I just saw a patient 2 weeks ago who I had seen about 3 months before. I had put her on this whole food, plant-based, no oil diet, and she was strong enough to go on that program pretty much in few days. She almost did it overnight. And she actually ended up losing about 3 pounds per week. She almost ended up losing 30 pounds in 3 months. She actually ended up almost going off her diabetic pills. She got off her insulin. Her blood pressure became totally normal. She's feeling great. Her joint pain improved. Her reflux improved, and she's just feeling great. She looks better. Her clothes are. She's buying new clothes, and this was like one of the great success stories. And this is just not one. There are thousands of success stories, both in my practice and across the country, across the world, people who have gone on whole food, plant-based, no oil diet. So again, don't feel that this program will work or not. This program will work. I have 100% confidence it has worked for me. I've been maintaining my 50-pound weight loss for the last 4 years, and you can do actually the same. Again, remember, always have a purpose why you want to lose weight, and write down that purpose on your phone or in a notebook, or write on a big paper and put on your refrigerator in the kitchen, and look at that purpose as often as you can in a day. If it's in your phone, you can look at it even at work. You can look at it even when you are outside. You can look at it even when you are at a restaurant or even at a party. If your purpose to lose weight is to run marathon, or to fit in a wedding dress, or to see 50th wedding anniversary, or live long, if you have that purpose in front of you, you will always will be more reminded of not eating any unhealthy food and avoid many temptations. So always have purpose in front of you. Also, in my opinion, and you can do this thing if you think it will help you, to recite that purpose at least 5 or 10 times a day with the closed eyes. It works for me, and it should work for you. That when you have time in the evening, close your eyes and recite that purpose almost like a mantra, that you want to lose weight because of this. You want to lose weight because of this. Do it 5 or 10 times, and that will reinforce almost like subliminal suggestions that you need to eat healthier today and tomorrow. Let me tell you one important way of thinking, and that thing is that when you start to think that nothing tastes as good as staying healthy, looking great, looking lean, looking beautiful, looking handsome, those things are going to taste better than any food ever going to taste. Again, taste of any food, including fat, including sugar, including oil, including alcohol, including meat or burger or French fries, anything of those things, how good it's going to taste. The things which are going to taste better is staying healthy. Know that you're going to live long. Know that you're going to look lean. Know that you're going to look beautiful. Know that you're going to prevent many chronic disease. Know that you're going to fit in the better clothes. Know that you're going to look handsome. You're going to have a six pack. Those things taste better than all the other food items ever going to taste. So have a constant mindset or reminder that those things are going to taste better than any food ever going to taste. There was also a question that what supplements I should be taking. The people who are on a whole food, plant-based, no oil diet should be on multivitamin with iodine, because we are not eating any salt, and most of our iodine comes from the salt. So a multivitamin with iodine, also B12, also vitamin D every day, also some form of omega-3, either algae-based DHA, or if you are allowed to take fish oil, a mercury-free fish oil tablets. So make sure you take some kind of omega-3 every day. Uh, so those are the supplements. You don't need any other supplements. You don't need collagen powder. You don't need creatinine. You don't need branched chain amino acids. You don't need any protein shakes. You truly don't even need any protein powders. You don't need anything except what I just showed you in terms of your supplements. Uh, there was another concept of NEAT, N-E-A-T, and that NEAT concept goes in the pillar of exercise. When people move every hour with their non-exercise activity, that means vacuuming the house, mowing the yard, shoveling the snow, cleaning the windows, moving in between the patients, taking stairs, taking a walk to a friend's house, taking a walk to a grocery store. All those day-to-day, hour-to-hour activity are need activity. And in my opinion, those need activity are actually more important than just going to a gym for half an hour or 1 hour. You burn more calories with those need activities than you will burn with going to a gym or even running half an hour. So make a habit of having those need activity, means moving every hour as much as possible. There was another also biohack, a simple way you can do that and you will lose weight even without doing anything. And that's a setting your house at temperature of 65 degree. Setting your house at 65-degree temperature. When you set the house at 65, 64-degree temperature, a lot of calories get burned and you will start losing weight. There's also concept of making brown fat, which we will cover as we go in this seminar. And when you have a more brown fat has a more mitochondria and actually it burns calories 24/7 and you start losing weight. So setting your house at 65 degree will also help you lose weight. Again, as you are going on this journey, make sure you stay in touch with your doctor. Have periodic blood work done. Make sure your medication doses are lowered. And as you lose 15 pounds, check more labs, see your doctor again and again. As you lose every 15 pounds, your health will start to improve and you will need to go on less medication and eventually go off medications. So make sure you stay in touch with your doctor. Also, as we eat, no SOS, that means no salt, oil, and sugar, your food will start to taste a little bland. And the way you can overcome that bland taste is by adding a lot of different spices. Many of the Indian cooking obviously has a lot of spices, but a lot of the American food without salt becomes very bland food. That's where I ask all my American friends to start investing into buying a lot of different spices. And you can have black pepper, you can have turmeric, you can have cinnamon, you can have cloves, you can even have some of the Indian garam masala, some of the biryani masala. You can have paprika. You can have cumin seeds. There are all different type of spices you can buy. There are probably 500 different type of spices you can buy. Have access in your kitchen to all different type of spices. And when it comes down to making your food tastier, add those spices. Not only those spices add taste to your food, but they also have many benefits in terms of preventing cancer, preventing inflammation, preventing Alzheimer's disease, including turmeric. Turmeric is one of the very important things for preventing inflammation, preventing Alzheimer's disease. So definitely have access to a lot of the spices in your kitchen and have access to spices in your kitchen and use those spices as much as you want, as much as you like. But definitely avoid the salt as much as possible. Uh, Other thing I want all of you to do is have 15 minutes, even preferably 30 minutes, but definitely 15 minutes every day of watching or reading something about health, something about weight loss, healthy way of losing weight. I do every day a weight loss seminar, which are about 20 minutes long. So you can watch my Facebook Live, or you can watch my YouTube videos, or you can watch the people or other people, other doctors, other authors who are also on YouTube. And some of my favorite, where I learned a lot of these things from, is Chef AJ. So write down the name Chef AJ. Michael Greger. Michael Greger. He has a book called How Not to Diet. I highly recommend that book. Brenda Davis, Dale Ornish, uh, uh, Neil Bernard, and there are a lot of other authors you can follow. You can also have access to a lot of whole food, plant-based, no oil recipes. You can also watch a lot of the no whole food, plant-based, no oil recipes on YouTube. But I want you to spend at least 15 minutes every day on learning something about health. Uh, the other thing you can do, which is very simple thing to do, which very simple thing to do, which I'm myself at times at fault and guilty, and even my wife and many of my friends have commented, and that's how I'm made out, is that start eating slowly. That means chew longer. I eat very fast. I have a habit. I don't know why, but it's like a lifelong thing. Being a doctor, sometimes you are in rush to eat when you are on call, when you are in medical school, and you don't have much time to sit down and enjoy and savor the meal. And I've been to the habit, even though now I have more time, but it's just a lifelong habit of eating fast. I should be eating very slowly. That means chewing longer. When you chew longer, some of the micronutrient and some of the enzymes in the green vegetables, in many other food, gets more active. For example, myrosinase enzyme into green cruciferous vegetables get more active when you chew longer. And that enzyme actually makes the isothiocyanate get more active into sulforaphane. And sulforaphane has many benefits, including living longer, including cancer prevention, many other benefits. So chewing not only is good in terms of enjoying and savoring the food, but chewing also releases many of the enzymes and micronutrients. Plus, also, when you chew longer and eat slower, your stomach has a time to send signals to your brain that you are full. It takes 15 to 20 minutes for the brain to recognize that your stomach is full. If you keep eating fast, you will keep stuffing more even though you are full, because your brain hasn't told you that you need to stop eating. So eat slower, chew longer, or chew more often, almost 32 times, you know, and sit at the dining table. Definitely have a dinner or lunch 15-30 minutes, even breakfast if you can make 15-30 minutes. Eat with the family, eat with your spouse, and enjoy as much as you can. Eat until about you are 80% full. There is a Japanese way of saying, I think I forgot the exactly, it says harabichibu or something like that, where it says that you should be eating 80% full. And only way you know that you are 80% full if you eat slowly and chew longer and chew more often. Definitely avoid eating while you are watching TV, because you will be eating mindlessly, and before you know, you will have thousands of calories. Definitely avoid eating while you are driving. Definitely avoid eating at a gas station. Definitely avoid eating at a department store. Now, every gas station has a pizza. Every gas station has a cookies and candies and nuts and chips and coke and beer. Even gas station sells now alcohol. So again, when you go to gas station, get your gas and get out. I wouldn't even go inside. Just pay your gas with a credit card and just drive away. Because once you enter the gas station inside the building, you will be tempted to eat a lot of the unhealthy, a lot of the processed food. Same way, try to avoid the fast food as much as possible. A lot of people have habit of stopping at a fast food in the morning for the breakfast. They eat a lot of processed food, including a lot of bacon, a lot of processed meat, and those are all not just unhealthy, but those are carcinogenic, means they can cause cancer. So avoid the fast food as much as possible. Like I said earlier, try to have 19 out of 21 meals in a week at home. If you have fast food once a week, if you go to a restaurant once a week, I can understand. But try to have most meals homemade by yourself at home. Uh, that also tells me that learn to cook. I'm learning myself how to cook. My wife is one of the best cook. My mom is one of the best cook. So I'm learning from both of them. I've been posting one recipe every day, and those are whole food, plant-based, simple recipes. You can make it in 30 minutes. There are thousands of recipes on YouTube. I'll be giving you some names also. So what those YouTube videos. There are lots of books available. So invest into books. Watch a lot of videos, but start cooking at home. Start cooking with your spouse. Start cooking with your kids. If you teach your young kids how to cook, when they become adult, they will know how to cook at home, and they will rely less on going out to the restaurant, less rely on processed TV ready-made microwave food, or even some of the food delivery services, and some of the unhealthy NutraSweet and Nutrisystem programs, and that kind of ready-made meals. Those ready meals, even though quote unquote the calorie measure, they're all processed food, they're all unhealthy food. So cooking skill is an essential skill. Cooking skill is a basic skill. Cooking skill is a primary skill, and everybody should know how to cook. All male, female, kids, adults, older people, everybody should know how to cook. I wish I learned more cooking. My brother knows how to cook well. I wish I learned more cooking. I'm trying, I'm learning, and hopefully one day I'll be able to cook basic things for myself. Um, so learn to cook as much as possible. Next thing was again into the pillar of exercise. I want all of you to invest into some kind of device which can measure your steps. I want you to walk at least 10,000 steps per day, preferably 15,000 steps per day. My average steps is anywhere from 15 to 20,000 steps per day. That's a 3 to 4 hour of walking. I work 8 hours full time. I commute 2 hours. I have family, I have spouse, I exercise, I go to gym hour or two every day. I give this Facebook Live, I read every day. But on top of it, I sleep 7 to 8 hours. On top of that, I manage to walk 3 to 4 hours a day. At work, in between patients, I don't sit. I go out for a walk. At home, I don't sit. I'm walking even while I'm watching TV. In my kitchen, I walk. I'm just walking all day. So make a habit of walking as much as possible. Obviously, jogging and running is better for weight loss, but walking is minimum you can do. Try to walk at least 10,000 steps, preferably 15,000 steps, and try to invest into Fitbit or Apple Watch or some kind of device. There are actual devices which are only $25 on Amazon, which can simply measure your steps. So have some kind of way of following steps and try to follow 10, preferably 15,000 steps per day. Also, starting tomorrow, I want all of you, everybody watching live and everybody who will be watching later, to make one dish every day, whole food, plant-based, no oil item every day for yourself, for your family, and take some at the work and share with your coworkers also. And be a leader in terms of cooking healthy, whole food, plant-based, no oil item. Uh, as you go on this journey, as you start losing 1 to 3 pounds per week, I want you to have some rewards, because all the good habits has has many ways of reinforcing those habits and continuing those habits. And those habits formed by cue, action, and reward. Cue, action, and reward. We will talk about how to form a habit as we go further in this lecture, but I want you to have reward as you form good habits. As you lose 1 to 3 pounds per weight, I want you to have some rewards. And those rewards will reinforce your good habits. So go for a massage, buy a book, go for a pedicure, go for a manicure, buy a new kitchen item, watch a movie, go out for a movie if movie theaters are open, buy a new dress, buy a new shirt, buy a new pant, buy a new device whatever you like, whether it could be iPad or a phone or a computer, whatever you can afford. But definitely have some healthy reward, not unhealthy reward, have some healthy reward which will reinforce your good habits. Other thing I want you to do is to have take your picture today or tomorrow with minimum clothes, either in the bathroom in front of a mirror, or let have somebody in your family, your spouse, take your picture with minimum clothes, and have that picture on your phone and take a picture once a week and look at those pictures every week as you go on this journey. Many times the scale may or may not tell you what's going on, but your picture will tell you. I will also explain you what are the non-scale victories, because scale may or may not tell the whole story. There are many other benefits, many other ways of knowing that you are winning in this weight loss journey. And those include taking a picture every week and looking at your picture every week. You will start to see that your love handles, your belly fat, your face, your double chin, your thighs, your buttocks are actually going down, and you are looking leaner, you're looking more beautiful, you're looking more handsome, your skin is glowing, and you are looking younger and younger. So take picture every week. uh, Obviously, I already told you, do your weight every day on a scale. Measure your body fat if you have access to at least once a week. Some scales measure it every day, but definitely have once a week. And do your blood work, do your labs every 15 pounds, and see your doctor every time you lose 15 pounds. Because as you lose 15 pounds, your body will change and you may need less medications and less of the procedures. So only your doctor can guide you what needs to be done as you lose weight. Other thing I want you to have is as a trick is that I want you to figure out and find out the pictures when you were lean. And those pictures could be your high school pictures or your college pictures or your wedding pictures when you were lean. And have those pictures on your phone so that way you know how good you're going to look once again. So have those pictures on your phone when you were lean and refer to them again and again. Also have pictures of your role models. If you are a woman, have a role model who is healthy, lean person, either same ethnicity or same race or whatever person is your role model. If you are a man, have a role model of a healthy person who is muscular, who has six pack, and have those pictures on your phone so you know what kind of person you want to look like. Obviously, the primary requirement is that that person has to be healthy, not anorexic, not excessively low weight. So have those role models on your phone so at least you know where you are going and how good you will look. All those things are tricks and techniques which can actually keep you motivated that you will be continuing to lose weight. Um, Also, know that as you lose weight, as you become lean, a lot of the expensive medications will start to go away, and you will be saving a lot of money. So, putting some money up front in terms of buying certain kitchen equipment, joining a gym, buying a better shoes, buying a Fitbit device, buying a good scale, all those things are investment, and you will save tons of money, not just in terms of medications, but in terms of many expensive procedures, and obviously you will live long. Uh, as a cardiologist, let me tell you one thing. Bypass surgery, open heart surgery costs anywhere from 60 to $100,000, and that's like many times half of the house mortgage. So getting sick is very, very expensive, and try to be lean and avoid many of the chronic disease. There is a cooking show which actually I highly recommend. So you can write it down, or you can watch this video again and write it down at that time. It's called Whole Food Plant-Based No Oil Recipes. Whole Food Plant-Based No Oil Recipes. There's another show called Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show. I like that show. I watch many of the recipes. There's another show called healthitarian that also has a lot of whole food, plant-based, no oil recipes. You can watch thousands and millions of recipes on YouTube actually. My wife will be starting a whole food, plant-based, no oil recipes, hopefully from next week. So we will have two, three, even four recipes per week, and you can start following that also. Uh, I also want you to have another concept which is given by Dr. Joe Furman, and that's called G bombs. GBOMBS. Those are the things I want you to have every day if you want to lose weight and if you want to be healthy and if you want to live long. And G bomb stands for green cruciferous vegetables, B for berries, any kind of berries, blueberries best, but any kind of berries. Uh, O for onions, uh, M for cooked mushroom. Make sure it's cooked mushrooms. B for beans, lentils, or legumes, and S for small amount of seeds. So again, have G bombs every day. There's also another thing which is Dr. Michael Greger, and that's his. I think it's called a Daily Dozen. Daily Dozen. So look up Dr. Michael Greger, Daily Dozen, and Daily Dozen include many of the 6 pillars of healthy lifestyle. So do G bombs and Daily Dozen every day if you want to lose weight and if you want to be healthy. There's another thing, which is that whatever I'm showing, what I'm teaching you, some of you will be able to start everything from tomorrow. Everything I've been told you so far, you can do everything from tomorrow. Some of you will be doing it in a stepwise fashion. Nobody can do 100% day one. Some people do it gradually. Some people do all 100% day one. And both method works. Both method are fine. Whatever suits you are fine. I'm the type of person who dives in 100% from day one, and that's how I am. But maybe you are where you do it slowly, slowly. And if that's the case, that's okay. Maybe make one meal whole food plant based. Maybe then make 2 meals. Maybe make 3 meals. Or you can do meatless Monday, whole food plant based Monday. Or you can do plant based Friday, or you can do whatever you want, or you can say I will eat only 3 times a week at the restaurant and then make it 2 times, then make it one time, or you can say I will eat only 3 times at a fast food, then 2 times, then one time. So you can do gradually or you can dive in all 100%. Both method will work on my program. You don't have to rush to do it. Same way, if you are eating a lot of processed food, you can just start cutting down that you will not have processed food for breakfast or for lunch or for dinner. Or if you are eating a lot of animal products, definitely say you will cut down animal products gradually. I definitely want you to stop all processed meat ASAP 100% from today. And processed meats include bacon, salami, hot dog, many of those processed meat. Processed meat can cause cancer, and that should be avoided 100% from tomorrow, from today actually. We already covered oil. All oil should be avoided. So whenever you take any food, if you are eating any processed food, look in ingredients, see if there is any oil. If there is an oil, put the food away. Even olive oil should be avoided. Whenever you eat any fatty meal, any meal with a saturated fat, any meal with oil, saturated fat particularly, it actually disturbs your endothelial dysfunction. That means how your blood vessels are going to react, how your blood vessels are going to open up, and that actually is very detrimental for your heart health and can set up many issues. Actually, many fatty meals affect even sexual function, including erectile dysfunction. So people, particularly men, obviously, if they want to improve their erectile function, then they should avoid fatty meals by all means. Uh, as you eat no oil food, let me tell you, your body will be used to eating no oil food. And when you go out to eat any food with oil, you will not feel good. It will contract your gallbladder, it will make your stomach upset. So once you get into the habit of eating no oil, no saturated fat, your whole body will change and you will actually not like eating saturated fat or oily food. So just get into the habit of no oil, very low saturated fat for a month or so, and you will have a totally new healthy body. I was at an Indian restaurant just a month ago and I had few oily, spicy appetizer and I paid my price for next 4 hours after I came home. My stomach was upset, my gallbladder was upset. So definitely you will be into the same situation. Same thing applies to coconut oil. Coconut oil has been sometimes recommended for Alzheimer's disease, but let me tell you, coconut oil is not healthy. Avoid coconut oil as much as possible. People ask me how many calories I should be eating per day. If you are on my program, let me tell you, you don't have to count the calories. Your body will tell you when to stop eating, and you will still lose 1 to 3 pounds per week. So don't count calories. On the other hand, if you are into some kind of mathematical game, and if you want to count calories, please eat minimum 1200 calories per day. When you eat less than 1200 calories per day, you start to lose muscle mass because your body still needs some calories to survive and you start digesting your muscle. So definitely do not eat less than 1200 calories per day. And even if you burn 1400 calories as a basic basal metabolic rate, and if you burn 500 to 1000 calories in your activities, you still will lose 1 to 3 pounds per week. So definitely do not eat less than 1200 calories per day. I also want you to avoid too much high temperature cooking. That means a lot of oven food, a lot of air fryer food, a lot of barbecuing, a lot of grilling. When we have high temperature cooking, there is a formation of certain substance called advanced N glycation products. Advanced N glycation products. Those advanced N glycation products are very, very bad for your health. They can cause diabetes, pre-diabetes, Alzheimer's disease, many heart disease, even they can make you live less, premature aging, premature dying, even cataracts, even skin wrinkles. So try to avoid high temperature cooking too much. If you have once in a while oven-based food or air-fried food, I understand, but your most of your cooking should be low temperature cooking with water-based steaming or boiling or Instapot with water. Uh, your food should have at least 25-30% calories from raw vegetables and raw fruits. And most of your food should be steam cooked or water cooked. And if, only a very small amount should be high temperature cooking. Particularly when you have a grill or barbecued meat, a lot of the barbecued meat, they have actually highest amount of advanced N glycation products, and those are very, very bad for you. You should not be eating high temperature cooked meat at all. That means a lot of those barbecue meat should be avoided as much as possible. I already covered that as I started my seminar, but let me tell you, there is a big, big concern for African American women and obesity. 55% of African American women are obese. That's almost 20, 25%, 30% more than white women. So very, very concerning. I have taken up a pledge of helping African American women to lose weight and get healthier. So if you are African American woman, if you're watching this either on live or on YouTube, please reach out to me and see how we can help your group, your church, your organization to make African American women lose weight and become lean and prevent the obesity. Also, there was a feeling that there are a lot of people who are vegan. Let me tell you, being vegan is not enough for being healthy. Vegan people, obviously, because of the environment and because of animal cruelty, they are ethical vegan, but not all ethical vegan are healthy. Actually, there are a lot of vegans who are processed vegan, including eating Oreos, including chips, including white bread, including drinking soda. All those things are vegans, but they are not healthy vegans. Some of the Indian vegans actually have some of the highest heart disease. In India, particularly the state I come from, Gujarat, a lot of people are vegan, a lot of people are vegetarian, and they have some of the highest risk of diabetes, highest risk of obesity, highest risk of heart disease and heart attacks. So let me tell you, vegan is not enough. You have to be whole food, plant-based, no oil person. Vegan is not enough. Also, if you follow the program I'm showing you today and every day, you do not need any weight loss medication. Recently, there was a new weight loss medication approved, and I'm sure you've read about it. There are 4 or 5 weight loss medications approved. They all carry side effects. The newest medication costs about $1,000 a month. Weight loss medications are not necessary if you follow my program. Same way, bariatric surgery is not necessary if you follow my program. Bariatric surgery has a lot of risk, has a lot of lifelong complications. It requires a lot of lifelong planning and discipline, and bariatric surgery are not needed if you follow my program. I already explained you that you should be getting adequate amount of omega-3 in your diet, and you can get omega-3 from either algae-based DHA or flax seeds or many other seeds or walnuts and many other nuts. Or you can get fish oil, mercury-free fish oil based DHA and EPA. So omega-3 is very important. As we cut down oil, particularly vegetable oil in our diet, omega 6 will go down and you will not need that much omega 3. And your omega 6 to omega 3 ratio will improve. And it's the omega 6 to omega 3 ratio which is important. So that way, as you cut down on your oil, particularly vegetable oil, you don't have to worry about taking that much omega-3. Matter of fact, in India, people don't take religiously omega-3 supplements and they are fine. Chef AJ does not take any omega-3 supplement and she checks her omega-6 to omega-3 ratio every year and her ratio is always very perfect. So omega-3 supplements are not necessary, but if you want to take it, I'm not against it. I personally take myself omega-3 supplement. So make your own research and see if you need omega-3. There was a question about ghee. Ghee should be avoided by all means. Ghee has a lot of calories per pound. Ghee is as bad, if not worse than oil. Ghee has a lot of saturated fat, and ghee should be avoided. Ghee also has animal protein, and that should be avoided as much as possible. Ghee 500,000 years ago in a small quantity was a reasonable recommendation, but today, in today's days, where we have tons of food available, we don't exercise, we don't move every hour, we don't go to farmland, we don't go to walking everywhere. Ghee should be avoided by all means. Even 500,000 years ago, ghee was recommended to be very small amount. So ghee should be avoided in today's age by all means. Ghee actually will cause a lot of the heart blockage, a lot of the vascular disease. There was a question. There was a question that person is losing weight, has lost 15, 20, 25 pounds, and now has a weight loss plateau. That means they are not able to lose weight. What should be done? What can be done? Let me tell you what are the reasons for weight loss plateau. Number one reason for weight loss plateau is that they're not eating enough green vegetables. So if you have weight loss plateau, that means if you're not able to lose weight anymore, increase your green vegetables. If you are eating 1 pound of green vegetable, make it 1.5 pounds or 2 pounds. Number two, you're not drinking enough water. Increase your water intake if you want to break that weight loss plateau. If you're not exercising enough, increase your steps or increase your exercise. If you're not sleeping enough, that will give you weight loss plateau. If you're eating too late dinner, that will give you weight loss plateau. If you are not following intermittent fasting, that way you will have a weight loss plateau. You're not doing water only fast. If you do water only fast, you will break your weight loss plateau. If you're still eating a lot of processed food, you will have weight loss plateau. If you are still not eliminating oil completely from your diet, you will have weight loss plateau. If you are under a lot of stress, you will have a lot of weight loss plateau. And if you're still eating outside at restaurants and fast food, you will have weight loss plateau. So those are some of the reasons. There are many reasons for weight loss plateau. You need to reflect, you need to figure out why you are not losing weight. But a person should get down to BMI of 22, losing 1 to 3 pounds per week, eating whole food, plant-based, no oil diet. The next question was that how much protein we should have. And I want to cover this. I'm going to go ahead and take a 3 minute break. Just go ahead and have comments and questions. Stay on here. I'll be back in 3 minutes. So the next question I was going to cover was how much protein we should have. Protein, in my opinion, is one of the most overemphasized macronutrient in American diet. Protein should be the least important macronutrient. Obviously, we need all three macronutrients. We need protein, we need carb, we need fat. So I'm not saying protein is not important, but protein is overemphasized. We should be not getting too much protein or too little protein. And if you look at the recommendations, we should be eating protein about 55 gram to about 80 to 85 gram. Most of my personal trainers, most of the nutritionists recommend to eat about 150 gram to 200 gram per protein per day. That's too much protein. High protein diet stimulates certain pathways, including we call mTOR pathway. And if you're taking a lot of animal protein, it stimulates IGF-1 pathway, and both pathways actually make you live less. Proper stimulation of those pathways are important. You cannot have too much stimulation of those pathways, or you cannot have too little stimulation. You need to have optimal stimulation of mTOR pathway and optimal stimulation of IGF-1 pathway. But when you eat too much protein, particularly too much animal protein, those two pathways are overstimulated and they make you live less and they can cause more cancer. So protein should be ideally 55 gram to 75, 80 gram for an average size person. If you are 300, 250 pounds, then you may need 80 or 90 gram of protein. Athletes need slightly more protein, but definitely not more than 90 or 95 gram of protein. Older people above age 65 need slightly more protein, but definitely not more than 70 or 80 gram of protein. I am 140, 145 pounds. I personally need about 65, 70, maximum 75 gram of protein if I want to build muscle and if I'm athletic, if I want to run. But I don't need more than 85, 90 gram of protein every day. Protein has been overemphasized macronutrient in this country. So don't worry about the protein. If you get adequate calories from whole food, plant-based, no oil diet, you will get 60 to 70 gram of protein. Nature is wonderful. Nature is smarter than us. Nature knows what every creature, what every animal, how much protein, how much macro it needs. So every food, if you have a rainbow diet, means if you have balanced diet with greens, intact grains, with fruits, with beans, legumes, and lentils, you will get about 10% to 15% calories from protein. That means you will get about, if you're eating 2000 calorie diet, you will have about 60 to 65 gram of protein, and that's all you need. So try not to have anybody convince you that you need more than 70, 75, 80 gram of protein. That will be very detrimental. That will actually harm you. So try not to have too much protein. Also, not to have too little protein, because too little protein is also not good for you because you will lose the muscle mass. But let me tell you one thing. I'm in America for 36 years. I've not seen a single case of protein deficiency. Not a single case of protein deficiency. I've seen thousands of people with too much protein related medical issues, cancers, and other disease, but I've not seen a single protein deficiency. 100 years ago, 70 years ago, protein deficiency was possible in certain part of the world. But let me tell you, most people in the world don't develop protein deficiency anymore. So don't worry about the protein. Protein will be automatically come in your food, and you will have adequate amount of protein. So definitely avoid any kind of protein shakes, avoid any kind of branched chain amino acid supplements. Those are actually some of the worst supplements, branched chain amino acid supplements. Avoid any kind of protein powders, even vegan protein powders, as much as possible. Uh, and you can, the best protein source is the plant-based protein. If you look at the T. Colin Campbell, who is like the father of whole food plant-based movement, T. Colin Campbell, who is the father of whole food plant-based movement, he actually clearly says that animal protein is one of the worst protein you can have. If you have a little extra plant protein, it will be forgiving, but extra animal protein is not forgiving at all. Particularly casein is not forgiving at all. So if you have casein protein powders, if you have casein protein drinks, they're not healthy for you. You can make best protein source by making whole food plant-based bean burgers at home. Even those meat substitutes which are sold like an Impossible Burger and Beyond Burger, and all those burgers are obviously plant-based, but they are also not healthy. They still have a lot of saturated fat. They still have a lot of salt. They still have a lot of calories, and those are not healthy. They also have low fiber compared to the plant-based bean burger you make it at home. My wife has made a great recipe on plant-based burger. It's already available on YouTube. So watch that and make your own plant-based burgers at home. When you are on a beef burger, if you go on plant-based burgers like Beyond Burger and Impossible Burger, that's a good transition food. That means you will be doing better than eating a beef burger. But best burger will be a homemade bean burger without any oil, without any saturated fat, without any process, and lots of fiber. So those are good transition food. It gives you the chewy consistency. It's easy to grab it and you can have it. But don't make a habit of eating those Impossible Burger or Beyond Burgers. Um, I also like to think that many of you are ready to go on this journey and dive into it 100%. Many of you have asked me, how can I detox myself? And I understand detoxing is an important concept, even though it's not necessary. So, detoxing is something people do, but it's not necessary for the weight loss. If you want to detox, I can show you how to detox in a healthy way. So let me give you the detox program. So starting tomorrow, if you want to detox, if you want to speed up your weight loss for next few weeks, for next 1 week, have only green and fruit smoothie 3 times a day, 12 ounce each. So have only green vegetables and fruit smoothie 3 times a day. Have lemon water and have apple cider vinegar with the water 3 times a day. Drink 1 gallon of water. No coffee. You can have green tea 3 to 4 times a day. Eat 10:30 to 4:30 during the daytime. Sleep 8 to 9 hours in bed. Walk 1 hour. Do meditation 30 minutes. Watch health videos for 30 to 60 minutes. And if you do this thing as a detox program, which is a comprehensive detox program with all 6 pillars, not just eating detox, but the whole mind, body, and spirit detox, if you do that, you will lose 2 to 3 pounds, even 4 pounds first week. This detox program is very simple. It's plant-based, very cost-effective. You don't have to buy any supplements or anything like that. You can do it at your own house. You can do it with a spouse. You can do it with your family, and you will be cleaned out completely. This detox is easy. This detox is not starving yourself, and it's very healthy, and you can do it tomorrow. So if you are into this business, do this detox program starting tomorrow. I already covered the ways you can overcome emotional eating, so please refer to that again and again. There's also another concept which many of you have heard, and it's called fasting mimicking diet. Fasting mimicking diet. There was a question that do I need to do water only fasting? Water only fasting obviously is beneficial, but many people cannot do water only fasting. That's where this fasting mimicking diet becomes very important. Fasting mimicking diet was designed by Professor Walter Longo from California. And fasting mimicking diet now is commercially available. Unfortunately, it costs about $200 a month, so it's very expensive. They mail you 5 days of ready-made meals, and then you eat those meals for 5 days. And that's a fasting mimicking diet. You can actually make fasting mimicking diet at home yourself. That way you will get all the benefit of water only fast without doing water only fast. And that's much easier for some people and much easier on the body. And the way you can make fasting mimicking diet at home is by 45% complex carbohydrate, 45% poly and monosaturated fat, 10% plant-based protein, total 800 to 1,000 calories, and you can do it 5 days per month. There are a lot of YouTube programs on do-it-yourself fasting mimicking diet, and you can do it. I would highly recommend it that if you cannot do water only fasting, try this fasting mimicking diet at least once a month. You will lose weight faster, you will get healthier, you will reverse many of the chronic disease, including diabetes, and you will actually live longer. So try this fasting mimicking diet at home made by yourself. Obviously, if you can afford it, order the commercial product fasting mimicking diet. It's called Perlone by Walter Longo. Perlone by Walter Longo. Uh, there was also a question about eating soy products. Let me, soy products are very safe as long as they are minimally processed. Tofu is good. Many of the soy products are very safe. There was a concern about estrogen and soy. That's not that's not a concern. Soy actually has a plant-based estrogen called phytoestrogen. They're very weak estrogen, and they actually attach to certain estrogen receptors, which are much more healthier. Actually, women who eat a lot of soy-based product have less chance of breast cancer. In Japan, when women used to eat a lot of soy products, the breast cancer risk was very low. Even in men, soy is not an issue. Many people think that eating soy will cause a lot of the estrogen dominance in men and will cause man breasts or man boobs. That's not true. Soy actually is healthy for both men, women, kids, older people. And soy actually is one of the healthiest plant-based protein you can have. Same thing goes with soy milk. If you want to eliminate dairy milk, soy milk is probably the next best consistency in terms of the milk. At our house, we have replaced the dairy milk completely. All our Indian tea has now soy milk. And you should get unsweetened soy milk with fortified with calcium. And that's the best milk you can get, which is plant-based. Whole Food has a good brand, and you can get unsweetened whole food soy-based plant milk. Also, another recommendation from Brenda Davis that many times in breakfast, a lot of people don't have adequate amount of protein. They will have a lot of intact grains and a lot of fruits and may have nuts and seeds, but not adequate amount of protein. So I want you to start having in your breakfast beans, legumes, or lentils every morning. Obviously, water cook and thoroughly cook. So have beans, legumes, and lentils not just in your lunch and dinner, but also in your breakfast. There was another question that do we need to have organic spinach, kale, fruits, and vegetables? Actually, if you Google it, this thing called dirty, dirty dozen and clean 15. So on Google, just write dirty dozen vegetables, and it will give you a list of all 12 vegetables you should be buying organic. And there is a thing called clean 15, which are the 15 plant-based vegetables and fruits where you don't have to buy the organic. So again, look it up, dirty dozen and clean 15. There was another question, is too much soy bad for man? Actually, it's not at all. Soy has a phytoestrogen or plant-based estrogen. It's very weak estrogen, and a man will not get man boobs or man breasts. It will not affect your testosterone. And soy actually is good for men, women, kids, adults, old people, everybody. Soy is actually one of the best things you can do for yourself. Let me tell you another patient story. I just saw another patient a few weeks ago who was type 2 diabetic, was on insulin. She lost 30 pounds on our program in 4 or 5 months. Her insulin is gone now. She feels great. She's almost on no diabetes medication. Her A1C came down from like 7.8 or 8.2 to now like 6.3 or 6.4. So she's almost reversing her type 2 diabetes. So if you're watching and if you're type 2 diabetes, let me tell you, my program will make your type 2 diabetes go away and you will definitely get off your insulin. Next thing is sometimes we are facing a situation where there is a food item in front of us and there is no other alternative available. For example, a burger or or chips or a cake or a cookie, and you have missed your meal and you are hungry and you are tempted to satisfy your hunger to eat the unhealthy food. Let me tell you one thing. If you don't eat for next 3 or 4 hours until you have access to healthy food, you will not die. Obviously, if your sugars are low, I understand that. But if your sugars are normal, if you don't eat for next 3 4 hours until you have access to healthy food, it's better to go hungry 3 4 more hours than break your promise of eating only whole food, plant-based, no oil food. So try to be 100% compliance as much as possible. It's almost easier for most of us to be 100% compliant than have a moderation. And actually, moderation philosophy has killed more people than 100% abstinence. When we say we're going to drink moderate alcohol, nobody drinks moderate alcohol. Most people, when they start drinking, they have 4 or 5 or 6 drinks. When we say we will have moderate amount of processed food, nobody eats half bag of chips. Everybody finish one bag of chip and then have second bag of chip. Nobody has a one bite of cookie. Everybody finishes 1, 2, 3, 4 cookies. So moderation never helps. 100% abstinence is actually is the best way to go. Actually, there was a research done where people who stayed hungry periodically they live longer. Hunger actually makes a molecule called NAD plus, and that NAD plus molecule is important for longevity. So people who go hungry actually live long. So try to learn to go hungry as long as you can, and you will live long. There's also a concept of caloric restriction where people eat 3 to 500 less calories per day and they'll live 25 to 30% longer, both in lab animals and insects actually shown the people who do calorie restriction, they live 25 to 30% longer. That means a human can live 100, 120, 130 years longer if calorie restriction is started early. Calorie restriction is a science itself. Calorie restriction is a topic itself. I will have a separate talk on calorie restriction one day, but there are a lot of books written on it. You can look it up on YouTube. But if you practice calorie restriction, you will live long and you will prevent many chronic disease. You will reverse many of the chronic disease. Uh, Other thing which I want you to understand that as you go on this journey, do not feel bad if you are taking care of yourself, particularly if you are a busy parent, busy mom, busy dad, if you are busy grandpa, or if you are busy care provider. Take care of yourself first. Self care is very important when it comes down to losing weight. People who take care of themselves, they have a higher chance of succeeding in weight loss. People who are burning candles at both hands, they will never be able to lose weight. I think when you don't take care of yourself, you don't prepare your own healthy meal, you don't exercise, you don't sleep well, you have a lot of stress. So self-care is very important. So if you take care of yourself, you will lose weight in a much more healthy way. Same way, every day, dress up, wear the best clothes you can. Doesn't have to be expensive, but it should be the best clothes you can, clean dress you can, shave every day, groom yourself every day, put a makeup on, look the best you can every day. And that if you do that, you'll have more motivation to become leaner and leaner, and you will lose weight faster and quicker and in a healthy way. So as you are watching, please go ahead and have comments. Please share on your page. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to have one comment for everybody who's watching, one question from everybody. While I take a little break, have a little water, a little coffee, so I get a break from talking for the last 3 hours. It's almost like I feel a little dizzy talking for the last 3 hours. So go ahead and have a comment, have a question. Tell me you're enjoying, tell me you're learning, and I'll restart in a minute or two. So again, back to the live. The one important question I ask all of you who is watching live and who will be watching on YouTube, how serious you are about becoming lean, healthy person. What is the what is number one priority for yourself? Number one priority for ourselves should be how getting the healthiest we can, getting the healthiest we can, and living the longest we can. So if you're serious, if your number one priority is to lose weight and be healthy and be lean, you will lose weight. We all set different priorities in our life. For some of us, the priority is to make money, buy a big house, buy a new car, help spouse, help parents, help kids, look good, whatever, different priorities. But if your priority is to be lean, be healthy, then you will lose weight. Also, as you go on this journey, I want you to be a leader in this health journey. I want you to start teaching your family members, your spouse, your kids, your parents, your brother, your sister, your co-workers, your community people what you are learning. As I'm teaching you, I'm learning from you also. I every day I read something about healthy living. I watch a lot of videos. I work full time. I commute 2 hours. I exercise. I sleep, but I still find at least 2 or 3 hours every day to learn things so I can share with you. I can teach you. I want you to do the same thing. I want you to learn every day something about health and be a health leader, be a health teacher. Teach yourself, teach your friends, teach your family, teach your coworkers. When you do that, it will reinforce your own ideas, and you will actually be healthier and you will start losing weight in a healthy way. There's also another concept which is by Dr. Joe Furman. I want you to get one book today if you don't already have it. And this book is my number one book. I read thousands of books, watched thousands of videos, but one book I want you to get today, and that book is It to Live by Dr. Joe Furman. It to Live. It's only $10 on Amazon. Get a used copy and get that book. I also want you to understand a concept of Andy score, ANDY. That Andy score was given by Dr. Joe Furman, and he actually scores every food based on how nutritious that food, how healthy, how good food that food is for you. And there is a book by Joe Furman on Amazon where each food has been given how much Andy score is. I think that book is only $3 or $4. It's worth getting that book so you know each food you are eating, including all the whole food plant-based, including all the processed food, including all the animal products, including soda, including pop and everything else. It gives you Andy score. And I want you to eat from the highest Andy score food every day. I also want you to Google one page today, and that page is page 216 from It to Live. So you don't have to wait for It to Live book to come. I want you to order it, but if you want to start following the most important page from that book, it's page 216, It to Live. So you can just Google page 216, It to Live, look at the images, and you will find that page and start following that page. I will show you that page as we go. Also, as you travel, it's important you plan your travel. Try to stay at a place where there is a kitchen and there is a refrigerator and there is a stove top. I typically stay at Homewood Suites where everything is available to cook your own meal. When you reach the place where you're going, when you reach your destination, find the closest grocery store and pack your refrigerator with a soy milk, with vegetables, and with whatever you need to stay healthy. Have a even sprouted intact bread also. Have a lot of fruits in your refrigerator. Have a lot of fresh water in your refrigerator. So again, when you travel, try to find a place where you can manage to continue to eat whole food, plant-based, no oil diet. If you're going on a road trip, try to pack your food from home in a container or on an ice bag or whatever you can, so that way you don't have to stop at a fast food or you don't have to stop at a restaurant. Try to eat when you are traveling by car as much food as you can from home with fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds. Obviously, not too much nuts and seeds, just more fruits and vegetables. There is a one company which I highly recommend when you are traveling, and that's called Leafside. 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 Leafside makes those packages where you can just add water, and you will almost create a as close as whole food, plant-based food as you can make. That food actually has been approved by Michael Greger, and I just told our daughter about that food. Again, Leaf side, and you can just Google it, and you can actually buy. They're very cost effective. I think they're $3 or $4 per meal. And when you're traveling, you can just put 6 or 7 in your bag, and you can just add water, and your meal is ready. That way, you don't have to eat unhealthy food at the airport. You don't have to eat unhealthy food at the restaurants. You can continue eating healthy food, as close whole food, plant-based, no oil food as you are eating at home. Again, why am I doing this thing? I'm doing this thing because this is my giving back to the community. This is something I reinforce myself when I teach and when I educate all of you. This is something is my passion. This is something my hobby. Instead of watching 4 hour on Netflix or watching 4 hour Bond movies I used to watch, or Jason Bond movies I used to watch when I was younger. Now my main hobby, my main passion is to learn about health, educate, be interactive, teach as many people, and take on this healthy journey as many people as possible. This is almost like my own community service, and I just do it every day. I think I find the time to do it. I want you to be the same person. I want you to be a health educator. I want you to be a health leader. Also, other thing I want you to consider, which you can afford, is to have a personal trainer as you go on this health weight loss journey. A personal trainer will show you how to do right kind of cardio exercise, right type of weight training, right type of stretches, right type of yoga. And if you're a personal trainer, if you can afford it, that would be a beneficial thing as you lose weight. So that way you don't lose the muscle, you don't lose the muscle mass. You can actually get a lot of the personal trainer on Zoom and a lot of the online platform, and they can be as cost effective as $10, $15 per hour. Actually, there's a one personal trainer service which is only about $5 or $10 for half an hour, and you can get easily get those personal trainers for half an hour, 3, 4 times a week, and learn everything right about how to start exercise while you're losing weight. The reason I stress about exercising and lifting weights as you lose weight, because I don't want you to lose muscle as you lose weight. Only thing I want you to lose is lose fat. One thing you can do to lose weight from today is eliminate processed food completely from your diet. If you do just that one thing, you don't have to become vegan, you don't have to become vegetarian, but one thing you can do starting tomorrow, starting today, is eliminate all processed food. You will start losing weight. Processed food is designed to make you fat. Processed food is hijacked by these food companies, by these commercial companies who actually really hijack your brain, hijack your taste buds, and make you keep eating more and more unhealthy food. So if you want to lose weight and if you want to make one change from today, is to eliminate processed food 100%. This food manufacturing company know that our brain, our dopamine centers are light up by salt, oil, and sugar, and every processed food has tons of salt, oil, and sugar, and actually that's not healthy for you. Actually, sugar has shown to be more addictive than even cocaine. And every processed food has tons of sugar, and sugar comes with all different names, including high fructose corn syrup and many other different type of sugars. So that way, if you want to do one thing starting today, is to eliminate all processed food as soon as you can. So also, if you are older person, if you are above age 50, and particularly if you're above age 65, and if you need to lose weight, please make sure you do adequate weight training, because loss of muscle mass is very common as we get older. Condition is called sarcopenia, and they lose a lot of muscle, which is not healthy. People who have poor muscle mass, they become diabetic, they live less, they have more chance of osteoporosis, they fall more, they lose their balance more. So make sure you don't lose muscle and do some kind of strength training. My dad who's 84, 85 years old, he can even do strength training at this age. So you definitely can do some light strength training. There are a lot of YouTube programs. There are a lot of machine-based weight training at gyms. Make sure you do a lot of weight training as you go on this weight loss journey. Other thing I want you to understand that teenage obesity is becoming very common. Almost 25 to 35% of teenagers are obese. That's very alarming. That means all the chronic disease, including diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, are starting to start in early age. I see a lot of patients who are 20, 25 years old who are already diabetic. If you want to prevent teenage obesity, make sure your own kids or your own grandkids learn about whole food plant-based diet. They learn how to cook at home, so they eat less fast food, less soda, less restaurants, to prevent the teenage obesity as much as possible. Actually, last 4 years, Americans are living less than ever before. Last 4 years, longevity has gone down by a few months every year. And one of the most common reasons is a lot of the chronic disease, obviously COVID-19, and a lot of the obesity. So again, if you want to live long, prevent the obesity and become lean, become body mass index 22 as quickly as you can. Again, remember page 216 on Google, It to Live book, and get the book, It to Live. Also, if you have diabetes and if you are obese or overweight, I have a 3 hour seminar on YouTube on my channel. Please watch the 3 hour seminar on diabetes. I also gave a talk on pre-diabetes for AARP Michigan. AARP Michigan. So if you have pre-diabetes, watch that video on pre-diabetes. There was also another question about like how can I speed up my metabolism to lose weight? That's actually exactly opposite than what you need to do or you want to do. People whose metabolism is faster, they actually live much less. Animals like rats and cats and dogs have much faster metabolism than humans and they all live much less. Whales and tortoise who have much slower metabolism, they live much longer. And I learned from Dr. Joe Furman, the people with slow metabolism actually always live long. Over the last millions of years, humans with slow metabolism has lived longer. So don't do anything unhealthy, in my opinion, almost stupid to lose weight to speed up your metabolism. That means no those metabolite type supplements, no caffeine extracts or no caffeine tablets, no green tea tablets or extracts, or no any kind of ephedra or amphetamine or anything like that to speed up your metabolism. So don't speed up your metabolism. Slow metabolism actually is healthy for you, will make you live long. Just eat healthy and let the metabolism be at its own natural pace. Slower the better. Also, as you lose belly fat, as you lose visceral fat in man, testosterone level will start to go up. That's many times a incentive for many men that they want to raise their testosterone. One of the most natural way you can raise your testosterone is by losing belly fat and by losing visceral fat. People who drink a lot of beer, obviously people call beer belly. If you drink a lot of alcohol, a lot of visceral fat, a lot of belly fat will happen, and try to avoid alcohol as much as possible. There's also another concept of brown fat and white fat. Brown fat is the one which actually has a lot of mitochondria, and brown fat burns a lot of calories. When we are born as an infant, before age 3 or 5, we have a lot of brown fat. When we are born, we don't have enough muscle mass, and when we need to keep our body temperature appropriate, our muscle doesn't shiver, so we are not able to maintain the body temperature. That's where the brown fat comes in action, and brown fat maintains the body temperature for infants and for babies. As we get older, brown fat starts to go away and we lose brown fat. Adults have only small amount of brown fat around the shoulder blades and around their back. If we can somehow increase the brown fat in our body, you will burn more calories and you will actually lose weight. There are various ways of increasing brown fat. The best way is to taking cold showers or taking cold baths. You can increase the brown fat by keeping your house temperature 64 or 65 degree. You can increase the brown fat by wearing cold jackets. There are various nutrients, plant-based food you can also take to increase your brown fat, which I'll explain you in a second. Also, there's another thing which I want all of you to understand, that society has big habit of body shaming. Obese people are considered lazy people. Obese people are considered not productive. Obese people are considered not attractive people. Obese people are considered useless people. Obese people are considered not beneficial to society people. Those are all wrong philosophy and wrong things to say, wrong things to do. There's a lot of body shaming going on. Please don't be a victim of that body shaming. Every person is beautiful. Every person is handsome. Don't worry if you are overweight or obese. Obviously, for health, I want you to be lean, but don't be ashamed of your body weight or body shape or body figure. Um, uh, at the same time, people who are healthy, people who are lean, they are more productive, they have more promotions, they make more income, they live longer. So I want you to be at lean body weight, but don't be ashamed of where you are right now. Make a progress, and one day you will be lean. Obviously, if you have any mental disorder of anorexia or anything like that, be careful. Make sure you talk to your doctor, make sure you talk to your psychiatrist or psychologist, and don't go on any kind of unhealthy food or eating journey. Other thing I want you to start doing it from today or tomorrow is keep a food journal on your phone or in a notebook. And your food journal should include time of the food you ate, mood you are in, or your mind state when you ate, how much approximate volume of food, approximate how much fiber in that food. And you can, as you learn from me, as you learn how much fiber, you start to have a good guess and how much protein in each food. Even though protein is not important, I still want you to have adequate amount of protein. So I want you to write down all those things, every food you eat, and reflect every evening your each meal and see what you could do better. People who maintain food and mood journal, they have a higher chance of losing weight and maintaining the weight loss. So definitely have a food journal and have a mood journal. Also, if you are Indian like myself, or if you're Southeast Asian, try to have your body mass index 20 to 21, not 22 or 23. Indians carry a lot more body fat, a lot more visceral fat, even at a lower BMI. There's also another YouTube channel called The Real Truth About Health. Real Truth About Health. I want you to all those videos, watch all those videos. Those are some of the best videos on healthy living and on weight loss. Also, watch all the Brenda Davis videos. Also watch all the Chef Ages videos. I'm going to ask you a question as you watch. Please let me know when was the last time you had any kind of soda pop or any kind of energy drink. So go ahead and answer that question. If you're watching right now, when was the last time you had soda pop? There was a question. Could you please tell us where we can find material that we can print out info or nutrition given to the patients? I think there are a lot of Google documents available. Definitely print out page 216 from It to Live, and that's I give out that page to all my patients pretty much 5 to 7 times a day, and that page is very easy to understand. So that's definitely a right page to give out. And plus, I think a lot of people are getting more into videos now, more so than pictures and papers. So I think almost everybody, even people who are in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, have access to YouTube. So the question was by Pasanta Natarajan. I think she probably is a physician. She's asking about patients. I think I would have a list of 5 or 7 videos on YouTube, which you can make a list and give it out to your patients, because videos have much more lasting impact than just pictures or papers. So I lately I've been recommending more videos. Definitely they can watch my videos and see how that goes. Uh, I had a comment from Bernard that his last soda was 5 years ago. Mine was 4 years ago. So he has beaten me by 1 year. Total Shruti had a last soda 8 months ago, so she's doing great too. So that's just absolutely amazing. Soda should be avoided by all means. There's also another concern that in America, 88% of people are insulin resistant. That means they are at risk of developing prediabetes and diabetes. 88% of people are insulin resistant. Very, very concerning. There's also another organization from Detroit called PBNSG. PBNSG. It's a good organization. I know the founder very well. It's very small membership per month. I think it's worth looking into it. I don't get any cut out of it. I don't get any commission. It's just that I like their organization, and it's a good organization. Also, walking half an hour after each meal is a good habit. It prevents a spike in the sugar, it prevents a spike in the insulin, and that's the right thing to do after each meal. Definitely after dinner, after you have your dinner, sit for 10 or 15 minutes and then walk at least half an hour, even longer. There was a comment by Bernard that his weakness is organic fruit juice. I think uh, I think instead of a fruit juice, I would go for a green juice. If you're looking for micronutrients, micronutrients will be in excess in green juice only after you eat adequate amount of fiber. So I would switch it over from fruit juice to green juice. I think that and you will develop a taste of green juice. Also, obviously, green juice has a much less sugar, much less fructose. So you will need to develop a new taste. But fruit juice packs lots of sugar and they come in very quick. The residual sugar, the residual insulin is just not worth it. So go with green juice instead of fruit juice. But green juice only after you have adequate amount of whole food, plant-based fiber food, and after that, green juice. There's also benefit of drinking hibiscus tea every day. Hibiscus tea not only lowers the blood pressure, but hibiscus tea also prevents absorption of certain fat. So if you want to have one drink, either you can have a green tea or hibiscus tea, or you can have a green juice. And maybe Bernard can take up a habit of having one or two hibiscus tea or green tea every day. So let me ask you a question as you are watching. What did you have for breakfast this morning? Today was Sunday. Many of you had probably late breakfast after a little bit extra hours of sleep in the morning. What did you have breakfast this morning? Uh, we also have a weight loss group on my Facebook page. Please join that group. I'm hoping to make that group more interactive. I'm going to be posting on that group every day. I'm going to be posting recipes. I'm going to be asking people to post what they ate, ask the recipe from themselves, and make it like a support group. So if you have not joined, join the weight loss group on my Facebook page, Healthy Living with Dr. Ajay Shah. So it looks like uh, Charlene had oatmeal. Hopefully, it was oat groat or still cut oats. And Toral, I'm not sure. But Toral had upma, which is good. Still somewhat of process, but I would say oat groats are the best breakfast. There was a comment by Vasanta that she's serving a lot of underserved, uninsured population. I think those are the some of the most uh, help needed people where they don't have enough resources, they don't have a lot of grocery stores, they don't have a lot of income. They reach out for a lot of cheap processed food, a lot of calorie dense food. They reach out for a lot of fast food, a lot of soda, and that's a really a sad situation. I think the best thing you can do is to teach them uh, how to have groceries as easily as they can have and cook as much as they can at home without any oil. And let me tell you one thing, cooking at home is always going to be cheaper, both short term and long term, particularly if you have just simple vegetables, fruits, and beans. A bag of bean can cost 99 cents, can last 2 or 3 days. So I think even for poor people, cooking at home, healthy food will be much cheaper than eating at a restaurant or eating at a fast food. And I agree, this will be a very, very difficult situation, and that's a big service you are doing. I'm very proud that you are serving them, and I'm very proud that you are thinking and worrying about them. And I think I will put in my note that I need to come out with a separate Facebook Live how to help this Hispanics, some of the African American from low socioeconomic status. And I take a pledge that I will come out with more Facebook Live to help those people also who are actually in the most need, because African American women, African American in general, and Hispanics have some of the highest obesity rate. Vasanta had a honeydew and nuts, so that's great. I think people are eating healthier and healthier. I had oat groat, and I had the perfect oat groat with a lot of vegetables, no oil, no sugar, and no salt. A lot of spices. It was a spicy oat groat with lots of vegetables. I think I'll have a recipe tonight. So let me tell you also what, as human, we are made out of. Our nature for last millions of years is to eat calorie-dense food, because thousands of years ago, food wasn't readily available. Sometimes we will not have food for days. So whenever we found food, we looked for and reached out for calorie-dense food. Whatever food had the highest calorie, we grabbed that food very quickly and ate very quickly, because we may not get food for a few days. So our genes, our mind, our body is designed to crave for calorie-dense food. Our body is also designed not to move. Our main purpose of every living being, every animal, is to reproduce and continue our generations. That's number one goal of every animal, to continue our generations. If you spend your energy and your calories in moving, then, and if you don't have food, you will die early and you will not continue generation. So for thousands or millions of years, our natural gene and instinct is not to move. Today, we have really the excess of a lot of food and we don't move. So actually, our genes are still working to eat calorie dense food and to not move. And our current environment is actually totally harmful for what our genes wants us to do. We have lots of calorie dense food available every hour, not every day, every hour, which used to be every few days. Now it's available every hour. So our natural instincts are to eat calorie dense food and not move. We need to fight those natural instincts every day, every hour in today's environment. And that's where eating this low calorie dense food, eating whole food, plant based, no oil diet is the smartest way of making sure your genes do not make you eat unhealthy food. It's very difficult to resist our genes. It's very difficult to resist our mindset, what we've been doing for millions of years. Only way you can overcome those tendencies from our genes is if you eat whole food, plant-based, no oil diet. And that's where I've been teaching you, I've been showing you over last many years, particularly last 3 weeks. I've given a lot of lives. I have separate Facebook series going on. We are on segment 24, I believe. So watch segment one when you have time. Today's live will be also on YouTube, so you can watch it again and again. You can watch it while you are commuting. You can watch it while you are driving long distance. Listen 2, 3 times. Take notes safely if you can, if you're not driving, and start following it from tomorrow. I definitely want you to learn few things. Number one, learn about environment, learn about why you want to lose weight, your purpose of losing weight, learn about calorie density, learn about 6 pillars of healthy lifestyle, including learn about how to have exercise program, including cardio exercise, weight training, stretches, and balance and yoga. I want you to also learn how to have good sleep and improve your sleep. I also want you to learn how to manage your stress and how to have a good relationship. I have a separate video on happiness on YouTube. It's about 2 or 3 hour long. Please watch that video. People who are happy are healthy. People who are happy are lean. People who are happy live long. So definitely happiness is primary thing, and then everything else follows. So watch my video on happiness. It's about a year old, but it's already available on YouTube. Healthy Living with Dr. Ajay Shah. Definitely watch a video on depression. I did that video a year ago, that's 8, 9 months ago. So if you suffer from anxiety or depression, weight loss will be very difficult. Watch that video on depression, and whole video is about not taking medication, not seeing doctors, things you can do yourself to come out of depression and prevent the relapse of depression. People who are depressed will never lose weight. So if you suffer from that, or if you want to prevent the depression, watch my video on depression. I've also done a series on how to live healthy up to 110 years old. That series is my favorite series because that's my goal. So if you start following the series, that's already available on YouTube. Also, one thing you can do, which I think people who are watching right now, and as people watch it later on, try to avoid alcohol as much as possible. Try to avoid restaurant as possible. Matter of fact, I've taken a pledge not to go to restaurant for 30 days. This is day 7. I have 23 more days to go. Maybe you can take a pledge also of not going restaurant this week or next 2 weeks or next 1 month or whatever you can do. Next thing you can do is when you start cooking, make make the same recipe. Keep the recipe which you've been teaching cooking for last 10 years, 5 years, 20 years, 30 years, the recipe which came from your mom, came from your grandma. So do not change the recipe, just change the ingredients. Change unhealthy ingredient to a healthy ingredient. That means if you're putting chicken, put a tofu. If you're putting oil, put vegetable broth. Whatever unhealthy ingredients are, make into a healthy ingredient. Because our mind, our taste buds, our tongue, our life, our philosophy is used to eating the same old generational recipes. It's important we maintain those recipes. Just maintain those recipes, same spices, eliminate salt and put spices, put turmeric, put black pepper, put cinnamon, whatever you want to put, but make those same recipes healthier version of the same recipe. I don't want you to go on Google or YouTube or buy a lot of books with new recipes which you're not used to with it. There will be a lot of overwhelming. Just take your own same recipe in your family from generations and just make it turn into a healthy recipe. I also want you to learn how to journal daily, not just the food journal, but your journal for the everyday. People who journal are healthier. People who are journal have a better mental health. People who are journal, they are more successful. People who journal have a less chance of depression. People who journal live long. So I want you to make a habit of journaling every day. I journal every day for last 5 years. My phone is full of daily journals, and I reflect and I look at those journals from a year ago, 2 years ago, and see where I stand. So journal every day. I've done a separate video on how to journal. It's already available on YouTube. So please watch that video on how to journal also. But if you want to lose weight, journal every day. Also, as you go on this weight loss journey, if you make an error, if you have a cheat bite, or if you have a unhealthy food, do not feel too much guilty. Do not beat yourself up. One error will not put you back thousand steps. One error is a small error. Just feel okay about it, reflect on it, see why you made that error, see what were the circumstances, what was your emotional state, why you did it, and hopefully you will not do that again. Actually, there is enough scientific proof that people who feel guilty repeat that error again and again. So don't feel guilty if you have one healthy meal or one healthy day. Don't worry about it. You will be fine long term. Just try not to make that mistake again by reflecting on it, why you made that mistake. Also, you can easily try one step at a time, pick one habit. Maybe you can say, I'm going to eliminate processed food. Maybe I'm going to eliminate dairy. Maybe I'm going to eliminate animal product. Maybe I'm going to eliminate alcohol. Maybe I'm going to eliminate going to the restaurant or fast food, whatever. Or I'm going to add exercise. Make one habit at a time. When you overwhelm yourself with 10 different new habits, you will not have a high chance of success. Take one habit, master it for 2 or 3 weeks, then add a second habit, and then master it for 2 or 3 weeks. And keep adding one habit every 3 to 4 weeks, and in 1 year, you'll be master at life. As you watch these videos on my YouTube channel, on my lives, let me tell you, I take effort of at least 2 hours every day about reading about health, reading about my own field, cardiology, reading about living long, reading about weight loss, reading about meditation, reading about exercise, and I bring the summary of everything I do 2 hours every day in 20 to 40 minutes. So if you are busy as a parent, if you're busy as a full-time worker, if you are busy in life in general, you don't have to go and read 2, 3 hours every day. I will do that job for you, and I'll summarize everything I've read from my experience for 40 years, from my training as a cardiologist, my training as a lifestyle physician, and my daily knowledge and daily learning, daily understanding. I will summarize every day 20 to 40 minutes. You don't have to worry about doing 2, 3 hours every day. Just listen to my live every day, contribute, ask questions. Obviously, I want you to be your own knowledge base, also your own videos, your own books, your own Google search. I want you to do it yourself. But if you are busy one day, just rely on me to teach you and educate you as long as you trust me. And I will always bring simple things, science based, evidence based things, not something I have to sell, not something costly thing, or not something which is not healthy. I will always bring the balance of health, cost, the simplicity, something which is very effective, something you can do it from tomorrow. There's another app available which many of my patients are using it, and it's called Noom app, Noom. I think it costs $30 or $35 a month. It's a fair app. It has a text messaging program, so you have a health coach which keeps an eye on you. I think if you can afford it, it's worth looking into it. It also goes based on caloric density concept. I think it's a fair program, but obviously it's a commitment of some money. If you can afford it, it's worth doing it for 6 or 12 months, and it will help you lose weight. Otherwise, you can just listen to my live every day. You can join our weight loss group. Let's make that weight loss group more active and see if we can lose weight ourselves. Also, salt not just is unhealthy for you, it increases your blood pressure, but salt actually increases your appetite and make you eat about 10% more calories. So there's only more reason to give up on the salt completely. Also, I want you to have a confidence and trust and faith that you can lose weight. If you follow my program, let me tell you, you will lose weight. You will become body mass index of 22 for Americans and 2021 for Indians. You will lose weight if you follow program. I still have body mass index of 23, 24. So I still have 10, 15, 20 pounds to lose. And I'm working on it. I'm learning on it. I've gotten, better over the last 2, 3 weeks, but we all are on the same journey. We are all together. We all can work together. We all can support each other, and you will get to the lean, ideal body weight before even you know it. Other thing is that whenever you sprout any plant-based food, it only gets healthier. Sprouted food are some of the most healthy food. My wife is going to show you how to sprout food at home, all different kind of grains, different kind of seeds, different kind of lentils, different kind of different all different food, even different vegetables, including broccoli. You can sprout pretty much any plant-based food, and my wife is going to start showing you how to sprout food at home. She's also started to show you how to have your own microgreens at home. Microgreens are some of the healthiest thing you can ever find, and she's going to start showing you how you can grow your own microgreens at home. Again, you don't have to go vegan, just go 90% whole food, plant-based, no oil diet as much as possible. Also, avoid as much as possible with the high fructose corn syrup, because that's definitely no when it comes down to health. High fructose corn syrup can cause a lot of fatty liver, a lot of unhealthy things, a lot of visceral fat that should be avoided by all means. I also want you to watch one documentary, which I'm sure many of you already have watched it, and it's called Forks Over Knives. It's already available on Netflix. It's free on Netflix. If you don't have Netflix, it's available on YouTube for like $2 or $3. Again, Forks Over Knives. Forks Over Knives, one of the best documentary you can watch if you want to start on a whole food, plant-based, no oil journey. There was another big statement made by our close friend Dr. Rayapuri, Shobha and Arjun Rayapuri, that it says that when you eat 3 pounds of whole food, plant-based food, no oil, 3 pounds, how cannot how can it be beat by taking 1 or 2 pills, which are like few grams? How can few grams of pills can beat 3 pounds of whole food, plant-based, no oil diet? I like the way he described it, that 3 pounds of whole food, plant-based, no oil food will always beat few grams of those chemicals in those pills. So if you understand the power of plant-based food, whole food, plant-based food, if you understand that power, you will never need any pill. Also, we as human, we all are social animals. We all want to belong to a tribe. We all want to belong to a community. We all want to belong to a society. And that's something of a basic requirement as a human being, that we are social animal. So if you want to be healthy, if you want to lose weight, find a tribe who is trying to do the same thing. That means get rid of the friends who are eating unhealthy food, drinking a lot of alcohol, who don't care about their health. Find a new group of friends, find a new family members, find new community, find a new church, whatever is required, where people are eating healthy, people who are eating whole food, plant-based, no oil diet. If you do that, you will feel you belong to that community. Your mind will be satisfied in terms of social needs, in terms of relationship needs, and you will actually automatically become like your friends, and you will become healthier. There's always saying that, tell me your closest 5 friends and I'll tell you everything about yourself. And that's such a true statement. People who are obese always have obese friends. Family member who is obese, or parents who are obese, kids are always obese. So find a tribe, find a group, find a church where everybody has the same mindset about health, same mindset about becoming and staying lean. Very hard to do in America because of so much high prevalence of obesity, but I'm sure you can find people and friends and family who have the same mindset. Also, having a very balanced mind, having very balanced stress. We all need stress in our life. Stress, actually, I call it use stress. Some stress is important to keep us busy, keep us active, keep us successful. keep a goal oriented. So some stress is okay, but the key thing is to have a balanced stress. I call it a eustress, and that's where some of the healthy mindset becomes very important. And that's where I always tell all my patients who wants to lose weight that if you do 15 to 20 minutes of meditation, just closing your eyes and just reflecting through observing your breath through your nose going in and out. Just let the air move through your nose in and out with a closed eye, 15 to 20 minutes. That will help you to lose weight as much as it exercise will help you. So if you exercise for 1 hour, exercise for 45 minutes, and do 15 minutes of meditation, trust me, that will help you to lose weight. Also, starting today, before each meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, have 1 glass of water, preferably even 2 glasses of water. 2 glasses of water before your breakfast, 2 glasses of water before your lunch, 2 glasses of water before your dinner. Trust me, it's a biohack. You will start losing weight. Sleep minimum 7 to 8 hours. Also have a list of restaurants where they serve healthy food, where they serve whole food, plant-based food. Typically, those are Chinese restaurants, Thai restaurants. Some of the American restaurants are very unhealthy. So have a list of restaurants if you want to go out with friends, because we all want to go out once in a while. We all want to be served by people. It's a good social activity. But if that's the case, have a list of restaurants where you can safely go. A lot of vegan restaurant, a lot of whole food plant-based restaurant. Every city has it now. Even if it's you have to drive 15, 20, 30 minutes, that's fine. It's worth driving, but go to a healthy restaurant. Also, a lot of the social activity doesn't have to revolve around food. We have made a habit by these food companies, by this restaurant, that all social activities should happen around food. Even the marathon races, when they end, they have beers, they have unhealthy food, they have chicken wings. Even at the dance recitals, even at the music recitals, even at a graduation, even anything, they are very unhealthy food. So social functions doesn't have to involve food. You can actually have walking social where you go walk and talk. You can have a tea social where you drink green tea. You can have a movie social where you just drink a movie, watch a movie and drink a green tea. So you can do a lot of socials, which actually you can discuss a lot of the health material. You can have a healthy book discussion like a book club. You can do a lot of social where food is not the main aspect of getting together. Non-food social should be a new thing. I'm trying myself to do that. Non-food social. I will also have a list of authors as we go. I do every day a Facebook Live on weight loss, and please join every day. I try to do it in the evening. If you cannot join, watch it later on. They always are on YouTube. We've been doing this for 4 hours. We have 5 minutes left. So if you have watched the whole thing, please go ahead and give me a comment whether you enjoyed what the quality of the program, what more things you want me to do next time, what things you want to see in this program, whether you will share this thing with your friends and family, how can I help you more. So I'll give you 1 or 2 minutes to go ahead and comment, and then I'll have some concluding remarks, and then we will end this 4-hour seminar. Thanks for joining. I know it was a long seminar. I hope you learned, and go ahead and have a comment. So let me have some concluding remarks. Number one, have a purpose for weight loss. See why you want to lose weight. Create an environment. Create an environment why why your willpower will not work, but environment will work. Know the calorie density, eat at home, learn to cook, have a stable mind, manage your stress, manage all the six pillars of healthy lifestyle. Uh, Take your lunch from home, exercise, no alcohol, meditate. If you do all those things, you will lose weight. Losing weight is not that hard as long as you understand that it requires more than just eating. Losing weight is a comprehensive effort. It requires a lot more than just what you eat. It requires a whole new lifestyle. If you do that, you will lose weight, you'll be healthier, you'll be leaner, you will live long, you'll be happier, you'll be looking beautiful, you look handsome, you will have a six pack, a lot of medications will be gone, a lot of disease will be gone, your doctor will be happy, your family will be happy, your spouse will be happy, and you will absolutely love your new life, your new look, and you will actually contribute to the society. You will make more money. You'll be a health leader. You will educate other people. You will be a role model to a lot of people. So do the best you can. I'm going to stop here. I think there were some good comments, so thank you. I think some a lot of people watched the whole thing. A lot of people watch the whole thing, so I thank everybody who watched. We will do this thing once a month. I will try to add new information every month. Obviously, a lot of repeat information so that when new people who are joining can learn. But even people who watch today should be able to join once a month or every other month because I will have new information every time because I read, I watch every day, and I take notes every day. Everything I read or learn, I take notes, I add it to my notes so I can keep updating my own presentations. Thank you. Have a great evening. See you again. Eat healthy tonight, exercise, meditate, sit in the sauna if you have access to, spend time with your spouse, spend time with your family, be healthy, live long, and thank you again.